Okay. Okay. We are. Whoa. Chill. We are streaming. We are doing the call-in show again. Once again. The occasional call-in show. It was at one point weekly. Then it became semi-weekly. Now it's monthly. Pretty soon it'll be semi-monthly. What can I tell you? Then it'll be semi-annually, and so on and so forth. I'm not good at keeping to a regular schedule with these things, you know? They happen when they happen. It's more fun that way, right? The spontaneity. Anyway, we're doing crime today. This is the crime call-in show. You'll be able to call in very soon in the next few minutes to talk about your experience with crime. If you are a criminal, or if you know a criminal, or if you were, unwittingly part of some criminal enterprise, or if you just want to talk about crime in general, things that are illegal that should be legal, or things that are illegal that should be illegal. The concept of crime, anything crime related, is on the table today. I've already told a story from my past about being a male shoplifter. So I'm not going to do that whole thing again. But yeah, I used to shoplift from grocery stores a lot. It's obviously a very white woman level crime. I'm not proud of that. But besides that, anyway, I was watching some Louis Theroux docs lately. I love that guy, Louis Theroux. If you ever heard of him, or if you haven't, he's a BBC presenter. Makes these hour-long documentaries. They're very, 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 very good. There was a whole series, Law and Disorder in X, Y, and Z places. The best one from that series, I thought, was Law and Disorder in Johannesburg, South Africa. Some freaky shit going on out there, man. The crime, the justice is as scary as the crime out there. There's a lot of mob burnings. Get an angry mob together, just like say this guy did some shit to you, get an angry mob together, they stone the guy, and then they burn him. They cover him in petrol and set him on fire. That's one of the forms of justice that's going on over there. A bit freaky. There's like a point in the documentary where they're talking to this guy. They're talking to this guy, William, who is in charge of Mopogo security services. Security services. And he's kind of like a private police for like the more wealthy people in South Africa with farms and shit who want to secure their property. But Mopogo uses these kind of gangsterish techniques. They find the guy that's, maybe going to break into someone's farm, and then they shambok him. They give him the old shambok slipping. They hit him a lot with a large leathery whip, essentially, which is not great. And then at one point, it's great in the documentary, the community turns against William of Mopogo. And they're like, William wants to burn. He wants to burn Donald Legwati. Donald Legwati did not do anything, so we want to burn William. It's like, that's just the ultimate solution. Is just like, this guy wants to burn this guy. That's fucked up, so we're going to burn him instead. And they're talking about that, like, Louis Theroux has to pretend he doesn't know William, or else the mob is going to want to burn him too. So he's kind of acting, he's playing dumb about who this William guy is. But it's funny. He's like, so William wanted to burn this man, and you want to burn him? And the lady, who's kind of like the mouthpiece of the community, when she hears that, she flits her eyes for a second. She says, no, not the community. The community wants it. It's not just me. There's another great guy in that same documentary called Malevin was his name. It's very close to malevolent. and he was just like a ridiculous. He was like, I love crime. I love crime. I do this crime since I was little. I go into your house. And I find your baby or your daughter and I put a knife to their throat like this. And you see blood coming down. And I say, give me my money or I finish up now. And you have no choice. You must give me the money. Which kind of sounds a little slightly Mexican, but that's actually a really good impression. If you watch this documentary, you would know actually that was I did a really good job with that. So, and it's not even racist even if you thought, because it sounds like a different race. So I'm colorblind, with my impressions. Any race sounds like any other race. Wait a second. All right, never mind. All right, that's all I wanted to say anyway about crime. Crime! I love crime! Let's see if there are any boys in the boys chat. No boys. Okay, great. So then we'll move straight along. Take the first break here. We're going to listen to one more song. All the music on the stream is by a guy or group called Windows 98. Sorry, Windows 96. My God. Windows 96. They link to their YouTube channel and their Bandcamp's in the description of this video. That first video that was playing was a collaboration between them and a guy called Dystopia Kid. The link to that video is also in the description. If you enjoy the music, check it out. The HUD on the stream, the overlay here, is from Slouch, a very talented animator. His YouTube is also in the description of this video. And yeah, so we're going to take a quick break here, a 4-minute break. When we come back, the number to call in will be on the screen. You'll be able to do it, and we will be talking about crime. All right, cool. Okay. Oh, let me take this off. Who's this? All right, there you go. That's the number. 518-288-7938. Call in now. Talk to me about crime. Crime. I do this now. Oh wait, let me.
Call from
Cody.
to accept, press 1.
Cody?
Hey.
Yo, dog, what's up?
Oh, nothing.
You're calling into
Shit, I thought I
the
paused it.
crime show right
Yeah,
now.
I've confessed to a lot already. It's fucking BRT.
I'm sorry, what?
BRT?
BRT.
If you don't know, that's good.
I don't. What will you tell me?
I'd rather people look it up.
All right, fine. Let's just move straight along then.
It might kill the stream. So
Did you want to confess to some crimes, or did you want to talk about the more nebulous idea of crime?
the more nebulous ideal. Well, I live in California, so a lot of people have different opinions about criminals and coppers and all this stuff.
Do some
I
people
personally
believe
just try to
that
avoid everyone.
some people believe crime should be legal?
I saw that in chat, I guess.
That's an
some
easy way
crimes
to
exist, but
eradicate
they don't-
crime.
Yeah, you can tell yourself you did your job without doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If that happened, that'd be pretty cool. No, I'll just confess to more crimes. So I used to like smoke heroin.
Smoke? You can smoke heroin?
Yeah, you put it on tinfoil and you like heat it up, and it's a little safer than doing drugs intravenously, which I would never do
Sure.
because it's end up like Requiem for a Dream.
Which part? You talking about ass
the
to
part-
ass?
That's possible, I guess, but I was thinking the arm,
Okay, yeah.
the volcano arm.
That's the gendered difference. For women,
Yes.
it's ass to ass. For men, you get a big fucking gross ass arm.
That's pretty cool. That seems right. Yeah, I've done a lot of shitty things and
Wait, can
don't
you tell
feel
me?
great about it.
Can you tell me about the heroin smoking experience? That's the only way you've
Okay.
done heroin?
Yeah, so I just used to smoke it with that girl I was talking to for a bit, and then I stopped because I realized it was a bad idea. Yeah,
she's-
it's good.
That
Things broke up.
seems like a bad influence.
Yeah. I mean, I was too because I went along with it. I think we were both just shitheads, but at that time. But anyway,
How'd
yeah,
it come
we
up?
would,
How'd it come up? That's the beginning here. Who was like, hey, well, you know what would be cool instead of just watching a movie tonight?
Let's do some hardcore drugs.
Let's smoke heroin.
I might have brought it up. I think I brought it up, and she was like, "We could do this," but I didn't bring up like a specific thing. I was just like, "Man, I want to party."
You're
I
down to
think.
smoke any
I don't really
powder.
remember.
Oh God. All right.
It's all a haze. Like we would stay up for like 2 days at a time, smoking and like fucking and stuff.
Do you think that you deserve to be jailed for that?
I almost did. I almost actually did get busted, but maybe just because it would have been. Well, the first time I got arrested was like being an edgelord smoking a cigarette at a park at night.
That's illegal?
Yeah, like if you're at a park after hours, or if you're smoking at the park. It's like such a fucking nothing crime, but like some douchebag was like bored and willing to enforce it, so I got in trouble. But yeah, if I got busted for that stuff,
So a guy found you
definitely-
in a park at night, noticed you were smoking a cigarette, and was like, I gotta bring this guy in to the big house.
he's the park police or whatever, so like
He could-
maybe a cop.
He couldn't just tell you to like, hey, move it along, buddy.
Well, I was also a teenager, and you could probably tell that I was just like being up to no good.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if that happened now, I might be like, I don't care what you are. Like, I'll fucking punch you in the fucking face. Don't tell another adult not to smoke.
Okay.
Like,
all
that's fucking gay.
right. I would be interested to see how that would all play out.
It depends on their size.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're a little.
And if you're willing
they're-
to get in more trouble.
Right, if they're a little woman cop, you can pick on them.
Yeah, just one right in the kisser.
Okay, good.
They go down real good.
All right,
All right,
so you've
most
had
of this has been kidding except for the heroin.
right. So
you should know.
You had a brief brushing with the law. You never got in trouble for the heroin. Where did you get it? Was it who was your in? I've never known anybody that I know is into heroin. Like I wouldn't know where to get it.
It was the girl. She knew people because she was a shithead.
Okay. She was your connect.
Yeah. She was like the gateway to all that stuff. And I don't know. Would I do it again? Maybe a little different. I'll tell you what. It wasn't fucking any worse than smoking DMT. That shit was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah? You had a bad
Yeah.
DMT experience?
Yeah, but I also think it's because the circumstances were bad. Like, because I was just in like some shitty garage and I just wanted to do it, as opposed to someone who would do it like as an experience.
You were just trying to
Like, I want to take. Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to knock it out.
For a long time, if I was like conscious, I was unhappy. Like I would either try to like just sleep more than normal or like do some kind of substance to just not think about anything. God damn it, I wish I was normal.
Hey, so tell me this. Are you one of these guys that thinks that like all drugs should be legal?
Not really. Like, if you think about it, I consider a lot of things drugs that people don't, like cigarettes and alcohol. Alcohol is definitely worse for you in the long term than like weed. Weed will make you dumb. Alcohol will fucking murder you.
From the inside out.
But I mean, as for making like the harder drugs legal, no, because they destroy your brain and it's not worth like what you get. It's not worth what you get.
But is the big house I mean, you just said that there was a period of your life where being conscious was not great. Like, seems like a fairly innocent motivation then for doing even hard drugs. Like, should your punishment for that be the big house? Is that going to help your mental state to not want to do drugs?
It depends to what severity. Like, if I was in jail for a few days and I maybe the sentence was like community service or something, I doubt it. I don't know what the charge would have been. I didn't actually get in trouble. I got pulled over with nothing is what happened. After trying to do some bad stuff.
I also don't know what the charges are, but I know that heroin is a pretty big one. So like,
yeah, it's class 1.
They would want to throw the book at you, make an example out of you, you filthy, dirty heroin addict.
Yeah, but I also think they weren't willing to like scrutinize against me that much as opposed to the other people in the car with me because they saw that it was my car and I had a bunch of D&D books. And they were going to let all of us go, but one guy's girlfriend was like, you better not fucking let them do it. Basically, like, made them arrest everyone because she was, like, so proud and talking about, you better not let this pig touch me or you're not a man. Like, some fucking teenage girl just, like, busted everyone but, like, me and my friend. They did it to themselves, yeah. No, I don't think I deserve like a year of like rape and jail. I think like, you should try to rehabilitate people who haven't gone too far. I always
they really should. They should make that part of the sentencing. I sentence you to a year of rape and jail.
They basically do.
But it's got to be the words. Got to be. I want to hear the judges say it.
You're gonna get raped in prison. 20
to life of rape. 20. You could be raped for the rest of your life.
20 years of rape. I don't know. We'd probably see it differently if we were just like that upfront about it. You know how every entity can't just say what they want to say. Every corporate entity, they got to put some fluff on it. But like if they told the truth, yeah, that's what it'd be. It's like 20 years of up the ass by a big dude.
Yeah, by big, hard criminals.
When I watch fiction and I see someone who's bad, if you're like, stable, you typically want a bad character to get better as opposed to being punished and suffering. Like, there are a lot of characters I'd rather just see get their shit together and be like a normal person as opposed to like be skinned alive.
True.
You don't really want someone to be skinned alive until they skin someone alive.
Even
if you're healthy.
really bad guys in movies, they usually just get killed. We don't usually the movies don't usually end with like a big montage of them being raped endlessly.
Yeah, and it's because we have like some weird organization in the States that has existed since our films began that kind of dictated like what we are and aren't allowed to do. So like the good guys always have to win, even if it's contrived. And I'm not sure if these rules are still around, but when it started, foreign films got really popular because they could just do all the shit we weren't allowed to do. We were like pussified
Right.
from the beginning. Karma has to be what kills the villain. Was like one of the weird things. You couldn't just like torture the bad guy. He has to get killed by like the bricks falling. Oh, just some Saturday morning bullshit. Do you want to hear more crimes, or should I let you go?
Do you have more crimes?
Yeah, I used to drive.
Give me one more.
All right. Yeah, I used to like drive around with a gun that wasn't mine.
Oh. Why is
in
that?
like the worst possible state to do it in, because I wanted to fucking die, dude. I didn't care.
But hey,
I was just for a long time. I was like, yeah, a confrontation with the cop. I don't hate cops, but they're probably going to be what like I used to kill myself. So it was like a weird like relation. Or I'm like, I don't really hate cops, but I do expect them to fucking do what they're supposed to if I attack them.
This was at a certain time, not presently.
Yeah, this is not recent.
Cool.
This is like before I was even an adult.
So you were like driving around with the nuclear button on you at all times. You were ready to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, dude. I even thought about like doing something pretty bad at school. You'd probably guess.
Oh God.
It's not hard to guess what that could be.
All right.
What could be bad at school, but
Do you not do your homework? Get a B plus?
I wanted to fucking shoot those kids in the head.
Why? Which ones?
Specific ones. But then I realized, like, if they live, they're probably either going to change or be just as miserable, in which case death is too good for them.
Yeah, like it's
like
give
I
them
legit had an
the
epiphany
life
that,
the life in prison sentence. They'll be imprisoned by their own, fucking shitty ways. They'll live a bad life. Shitty people live bad lives.
I see one of them every now and then. They've either have a family and have gotten their shit together and realized that they were stupid.
Right.
Like that's a lot of cases. Or they're continuing to make everyone else's life worse, which is like sucks for the people in their lives, but I don't know. They're going to have to do that until they either die or get their shit together. So, I don't know.
You still think about it
That's
sometimes
really
then? Should you aid that process?
Of what?
In them dying at some day, which will stop them from being shitty people?
Doesn't affect me. Not anymore. Yeah, I kind of just realized, like, I don't have to actually go to school. I can just do whatever I want until people physically stop me. So it's like, so instead of going on a rampage, why don't I get a GED and get a job? And if people hate that, they can try to stop me. Like, that seems like a better revenge.
I agree.
It's like, I just kind of tried to make myself better than everyone.
All right, hey, Cody, thanks for calling in, dude. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, man, have a good stream.
All right, bye-bye. Nice, good. Some crimes, some enacted crimes, and then some thought thinking about doing a crime.
Call from.
Jorge, what?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
What?
press 2.
Yo,
Hello.
yo, what's up?
My phone is doing something weird, or your sound is doing something weird. It sounds like clicking.
Is this Legato?
Yeah, but all I hear
Yo.
is clicking, man, like really, really loud. I think my phone's messed up.
You sound great to me. So yeah, it must be your phone. I don't know what the hell's happening. But you can hear me. It's just clicking.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's like stretching out tape.
Interesting. All right. Well, ignore that and just monologue Legato. You don't even
Okay,
need
I
to
guess-
hear me at all.
I guess that's all I can do. What's the topic?
Crime.
Crime. Crime is terrible, sir.
Oh, you really? All of it?
Most of it, but sometimes it's funny. Like one time I got like kicked out of a CC's Pizza, which is terrible pizza,
Uh-huh.
but it's like buffet.
It's like $3.
Because like this guy like was in a group of people, and I didn't want to eat, and this guy kept on being like, "Hey, I'll just like you a piece of pizza. It'll be sneaky, like on the down low." and I was like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And he just kept bothering me. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I took a bite, and a guy came at me like really hard, really quick, like the manager, and he's like, "That's going to be $5.50." And I was like tripping balls, so I looked at a watch that I didn't have, and I was like, "No, I don't believe that is the time, sir." And he said, "No, it's $5.50, or you have to hit the dough." And I was like, "Hit the dough?" I was like, "You're gonna make me work?"
Wait,
I was like, "What the fuck kind of place
is that,
is this?"
is that what that means? You'll have to start pounding the dough for the customers?
Yeah, no, but he was saying hit the door. It was a very confusing. I got to be perfectly honest. I was tripping balls when this happened.
Okay. Classic
Okay,
Legato.
Well, no, it's not classic legato, except I
Yes.
do it all the time. But I was kicked out, and I was really offended. Like, this really hurt my feelings. I was like, how dare they kick me out? I didn't even want to eat their crappy-ass cardboard pizza. So I came back that night, and I spray painted in really big letters, penis. Like, on the front of the plate.
Dude,
And
Legato.
and
yeah, you're gone.
I never got caught.
It's like the situation where crime has begat more crime. The initial crime was, of course, you stealing $5 worth of pizza.
Yeah, except I
CC's.
didn't even get it.
You were coerced into stealing.
Yeah.
But then it led to even more crime. If the guy had just left you alone, he would have avoided the vandalism.
Yeah, probably. But
Is that the worst crime
I
you
shouldn't
have?
trip.
Legato?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I still hear this thing. It's like, it goes, hey, click, click, click. It sounds like tape. Is it on your side?
No.
Oh. Well, either way, I shouldn't trip and go to restaurants with groups of people anyways. I'll tell you what made me stop. Because I went to that Applebee's, and I didn't want to eat because I was tripping balls. So I just I'm drinking. And then, like, my friend was like, don't get scared. And I was like, why? And he was like, don't get scared. Something's about to happen. And then the whole staff came around me, like, circled me. And they went, happy birthday, happy birthday. And they were singing some non-copyrighted birthday song and clapping their hands and shouting at me. I was like, oh, God.
The Applebee's
And it was-
birthday theme?
Huh?
The Applebee's birthday theme, the original?
I guess, but I was freaking scared as shit. I was like, what the fuck? And then when they were done, I'm like, it's not even my birthday. Because it wasn't. It's just
Your
my friend
friends-
knew I was tripping, and he knew that would be funny as fuck. But it wasn't.
Okay, that's good, but that's not really a crime. That's not really even related to crime.
Well, tripping is a crime.
Oh, that's true. Oh, well, kind of. Yeah, you're right. So
And
is that, would
we
you get
committed
paranoid?
fraud because we got a free birthday song.
Oh,
when
true.
it wasn't my birthday.
It was fraudulent. Wait, so when you're tripping, do you get really paranoid about like that you're breaking the law?
No, I used to not, but it's just, yeah, I used to not, but I do now, but I don't know.
Have you been arrested ever?
Yes,
You want?
and that's none of your business.
Do you want to talk about that, Legato? Seems
You
relevant.
don't want to hear. You don't want to hear about all that. So one time I almost got arrested, but I didn't get caught. But it wasn't a good story either because it kind of worked out against me. Because like there's this one MP, or like I grew up on base.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one MP that used to bust my balls all the time about like just like being out. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing now?" And be like, "Oh, walking." And he'd be like, "Well, that's pretty suspicious." He was a dick, is the one saying. So like,
If you
I knew
live,
where
if
he
you live,
lived.
you live on a base, and the MPs are still very suspicious of you.
Yeah, it's like, well, the neighborhood was freaking empty because it was under construction or some shit, and MPs would be patrolling and shit, and I would just walk around. And I guess people were at the construction site, so they thought it might be me because of how I look, I guess, but it wasn't. So, he used to bust my balls all the time when I'd just be walking, and I knew where he lived. So, I went to the woods behind his house, and I waited for him to pass on his patrol. And like I had a cup, like a Solo cup, and I was trying to take a shit in it, and I was gonna throw it on his boat.
Jesus.
He had like a little fishing boat in his driveway for some reason.
Legato, the tape sound has arrived. It is fucking taken over. But this is a great time to stop anyway, because that's like the middle of your story. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye to you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can barely.
All right, bye, Legato. Thank you for calling.
Well, bye.
Jeez, Legato was dealing with that sound for me for 7 minutes. What a good guy. I couldn't deal with that for more than 5 seconds. Good. Crime. There's more crime. I know that this audience is a criminal bunch. So come on, confess your crimes. Maybe use an alias. I think the thing when you call in, it asks you your name. Maybe that's a good time to make up a fake name if you want to confess to some crimes. I mean, I don't think the police or the FBI is listening to the stream necessarily. Maybe there's a lone agent that loves the Minute Hour call-in show. I don't know. Anyway, if you are a lone agent and you are enjoying the show, don't prosecute the audience. Just leave them be. We're all just joking here. None of this is real. The calls are, Google's doing this damn thing where calls are just passed me by. So let me call someone back who just called in. This person.
Hello, this is Madeline Marlowe. Please leave your name and number, and I'll get...
Whoops. Sorry to dox you, lady. How about this one? Oh, this one. Here we go.
Hey, what's up? Minute Hour in Boston, New York.
Yo, dog. What's up with you? Boston, New York.
Or, excuse me. Yeah, doesn't it say that? It's just Boston. It's like Boston, New York.
Oh,
or something
Boston.
Like that.
I thought you said Boston, like the Boston Strong.
Nice.
All right. Anyway, what's your name, dude?
This is Nikolai.
Oh, Nikolai. How you doing, buddy?
I'm just living my life to the fullest on a daily basis. How you doing?
The
I'll hold on
same.
my woman, Madeline, for her.
Huh?
Madeline, I'm on speaker now.
I missed your call. Sorry.
Oh, is that you who I just called? Oh yeah, we have your first and last name on the stream now.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, you doxed yourself. Man.
That was
That's not
You're
good.
dead now. These criminals are
it was semi my bad. Okay, anyway, Nikolai, you're calling into the crime stream. Did you want to confess to some crimes or just talk about crime?
I'm going to confess to a crime. I committed a heinous crime while I was in the military, which is even worse. I don't know if you're familiar with court martials and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's some big opportunity for some badness here.
Yeah, I committed the heinous, unforgivable, and truly worth punishing crime of. I plagiarized an essay. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What?
And I
what?
plagiarized an essay. I confess. Well, I already confessed because I got punished for it.
Why?
I got
What are you writing essays for the military for? What's going on here? This is what our boys are up to?
Yes. So we were taking our weekly don't commit suicide class, which is a thing in the military. It's either don't kill yourself or don't rape. Those are the classes that you mostly get.
Are those effective? Are they effective courses?
Apparently not, because people keep blowing their brains out and also raping. So you sit down through the PowerPoint presentation on almost a weekly basis. So it's fun. So we were taking our weekly Don't Kill Yourself. It was the off week of the Don't Rape class. And yeah, so what we had to do, I was in the infantry, and at the time there were no women in the infantry.
What?
But we had to kind of like...
How long ago was this?
Well, this is the Marine Corps, and I got out in 2016. And
there were no women?
Kind of, no, there weren't. It was just a bunch of men, bunch of testosterone, bunch of, you didn't go a day without seeing a penis.
Okay, good.
And yeah, so there's these things called POGs, which are persons other than grunts, personnel other than grunts. They're the other side of the military, non-infantry, but they're mixed with women and men. But the videos and presentations we had to watch were made for that. So like, it was like, oh, Susie, Lance Corporal Susie went to a party and Lance Corporal Jimmy was there and he drugged her and raped her and don't do that. Yada, yada. And so we had these scripts with us. Basically, we had to like reenact stuff. And we had to like read the scripts as if like we were Lance Corporal Susie and the other person, the other Marine was like Lance Corporal Johnny, and like how to like keep the situation from becoming a rape. Like, okay, intervene, or blah blah blah. But it's all acting. Okay.
So there were two people who were being the offender and the victim, but it was really the rest of the class. It was their job to intervene.
I guess, yeah. And I guess I wasn't taking my position as Lance Corporal Susie serious enough. I wasn't acting the exact way that she would be. And the officer in charge that was running the show was not happy about it. He didn't like this. He knew Lance Corporal Susie personally. He probably raped her. And I wasn't acting. I mean, officers in the military
it's nothing like
they're just douchebags. They just wear Oakley sunglasses inside, and they just look at you like you're a scum.
Okay.
And so this officer, after the fact, complained to my platoon commander, his friend and buddy. Yeah. And we got called, me and my other friend, who was Lance Corporal Johnny, or whatever the hell his name was, got called to their office, or whatever you call it, the officer's office. And basically we were told, listen, you fucked up, I'm going to fuck you. But
they're going to do a real life reenactment to show you.
Yeah, you have to write an essay about this. You have to write an essay about all this kind of stuff.
About how you didn't...
About rape.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, about rape and suicide. You gotta write an essay about rape and suicide in the military, basically. Just cover all the bases.
Okay. How long? How long
yeah,
are you
yeah,
talking?
Yeah. Oh, dude, like, I think it was like 2 pages at the most.
That's... It's
like
fun.
not even anything
it's
crazy.
Good to, yeah, you can't really call that an essay, but...
No, because again, this is before I even went to college.
Right.
But I was like, well, I'm in the Marine Corps Infantry. I'm not really here to like write papers. I'm here to defeat enemies of America.
Right.
And yeah, so I just went to like 6 different news articles about suicide and rape in the military, because there's plenty of those. And I copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, you know what? I don't even know how to write an essay. I don't even know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And all I know is kill and rape.
And don't
apparently.
rape. No, don't rape. It's don't rape.
No, don't rape. That's right. I wasn't paying enough attention.
That's why you got to write this essay, man. Wait, so
So
how did they? I wouldn't have even expected, and you probably felt the same way, that they would like look it up. Like it seems like a purely just like disciplinary, like we're gonna force you to waste a little bit of time, write some stuff.
No, because these are officers you're dealing with, and they went to a little place called college. They got their health and science degree. Now that there was what the results of my punishment.
Yeah, the resort you had to go to.
Oh, the shitbag camp.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. I'll get the shitbag camp. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hurry it up, Sonny. All right. So I copied and pasted an essay, and he pulled me aside, and he was like, "So, he has Oakley's on." I said, "So you wrote this essay?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did." He's like, "Use this phrase here. Use this phrase here. This is what you said right here." I'm like, "Yes, it's a colloquialism from my local area." And he's like, "Oh, colloquialism? Huh? It's a pretty smart word from a smart guy." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, sir." And he's like, "You didn't write this essay, did you?" And I'm like, "No." And so I was. It's called non-recking. Basically, you can't pick up rank for half a year. So he non-recced me for 6 months. He gave me basically it's NJP, non-judicial punishment. It's basically whatever's before court-martialing. And you get put on restriction, and you have to. Usually, like when you're off in the military, you can go and put on civilian clothes and be a normal person. On a restriction, you have to stay in your uniform 24/7. You can't go anywhere. You can't use any kind of electronics. No phone, nothing. And all you do is mop. And so and you have to check in multiple times a day at the company headquarters to get your sheet. You get a paper signed multiple times a day. And you're also not allowed to drive cars. So you see people on bases not driving, they're riding bicycles. Basically, they're called, NJP bikes or whatever. And it's very sad. It's very sad to see someone in a military uniform riding a bicycle with a helmet on. The resort, the shitbag camp? Oh, well, so I was... Oh, go ahead if you want to interrupt.
I was going to say, how long was that punishment?
About 2 months.
6 months? Oh, 2 months, okay.
Well, 2 months, yeah. It basically just, you're not a human for 2 months. So, but it's equal for everyone that's on restriction. So I was mopping the floors with these guys that had raped people in town. And so... And so, like these, like commanders and like higher ranked enlisted guys are like coming through the company, the base headquarters. I'm like, "What'd you do? What'd you do?" And these guys are saying they raped people. We sexually assaulted someone in the local town. And they're like, "What'd you do, you fucking scumbag?" And I'm like, "I fucking copied, pasted an essay." They just stare at me like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Did
the other scumbags look down on you for having such an inoffensive crime?
I don't know. They I don't know if they felt bad for me almost. They're like, "Man, we should have raped somebody, man. Like, you don't even have any cred,
Might as well, yeah.
But what they ended up doing, they had this thing, we called it shitbag camp. What are they called? Chaplains. They usually organize things like they have these like retreats. Because everyone cheats on each other in the military, so these retreats, so you can go out there with a wife and stuff, and go to a resort and rekindle your marriage and love.
Okay.
But they also had these things for scumbags. So like people that get in fights, threaten people, doing not really doing drugs because you're automatically kicked out for that, but just scummy scumbags.
They had a special retreat for scumbags?
They had a special retreat for scumbags. They did. We were in Okinawa at the time, and basically they were like, anyone that's a fucking scumbag has to get on this bus. And then it's going to get you on a ferry, and the ferry is going to take you to this resort. And the chaplain, like alcoholics, like people that are getting like drunken fights and stuff. Mm. And the chaplain is going to take you to this resort and tell you how to right your ways and how you can heal. And
I thought you were going to say the chaplain is going to rape you at this resort.
Yeah, no, chaplains are totally like borderline gay rapist as well. That's what made it even more fun. So he's like giving us we're in a hotel. We're like in a nice resort on some Okinawan island, and he's like giving us a PowerPoint presentation where he's like, if you guys just drink one glass of water when you drink your alcoholic beverage, you can enjoy your alcohol even longer, but you'll be also more sober. So just make sure when you drink your beer, you drink a glass of water, and everything will be great. And we were like in the hot tub with a guy. And we're just a bunch of 18-year-old boyish man boys with this adult chaplain in the hot tub, and he's just telling us how we should drink to be better men. And then just all this craziness. All
did it work? Did it all work?
Copying and pasting an essay. Am I rehabilitated or something?
Yeah. Are you cured?
Am I cured of my ability to copy and paste? I am. Yeah. I went through college and I did not copy and paste anything. I learned my lesson through my punishment of being in a hot tub with a chaplain.
If it was up to me, you would never see the light of day again. I'll be honest.
I should be behind just bars for life. That's what you're saying?
I would throw you in the brig. I wish I had that power to just throw you in the brig, because I don't believe you have learned your lesson. I think you'll fucking copy. You don't give a shit, do you, Nikolai?
I do. I went to college. I got my brain smarts. All right. I graduated and I didn't copy and paste anything. All right. And I'm a better person because of my ass punishment that I received.
I believe you. The prisoner withstood intense questioning for 1 second.
Dude, military prison though is honestly no joke. It is absolutely brutal. Like, you're not a human. You're nothing. Like you're not just like not a recruit. You're not human. They treat you like scum. But I avoided that. I only got the hot tub treatment.
Right, with a chaplain. Hey, Nikolai, have a great weekend. It was great talking to you again, man.
Oh, you too, man. You have a good one.
All right,
don't dox my girlfriend, please.
I didn't this time. All right, bye. That's right. I do generally like to talk to the GFs, get the other side of things. But no, I've done that enough with Nikolai's girlfriend.
Call from
Rent.
To accept, press.
You. Hello?
Oh shit, man! I was listening to the stream, not my phone. My bad. Hold on, let me step away from the fucking headphones real quick so I don't hear myself talk.
You are on the stream, bro. What'd you say your name was?
My name is Trent, man. I said it real slow for you too.
I heard Rent, and that's why I was confused. I was like, that does not sound like a name.
That's not anybody's name.
That's why I asked, bro. I was like, no way. There's no way. Sorry. All right, Trent, you're calling into the Crime Call-In show. Did you want to confess to a crime, or did you want to just talk about crime? What's up?
Let me gather my thoughts a little bit, man. I'll confess to a crime, and then we'll talk about crime. I'd like to see what you think, man. So,
okay.
Let's see. First thing that comes to mind that I did that was bad is I suppose I've got a couple of weapons that I'm not supposed to have, but that's a victimless crime right there, too.
For now. What weapons?
For now, yeah.
Just guns?
Well, shit, dude. I can't. That seems.
Yeah. This is the stream.
I'm not holding like grenades and shit in my house. I've not got.
That's what I'm wondering. You got some some mines, some claymores.
Yeah, I'm holding like Predator drones and shit in the garage.
All right, but so you got some guns.
Yeah, I've got a couple guns, man, and I think that really I'm just like barely not old enough to have them. That's the only problem. I'm not like 16, but I'm 20 instead of 21.
Oh, you got to be 21
you
to
know-
have a gun?
You have to be 21 to have a handgun.
Really?
And see, there we go. Now I've just confessed.
Yeah, wait, is that doxing your state? Is that different from state to state, or is that a federal thing?
That's a federal rule, man. 21 to buy a handgun. I think there's some workarounds, you know, like if somebody gifts it to you or some shit, but
Oh, right. Like you might be able to own it, but not purchase it.
yeah, right. The ostensible purpose of the law is like 21-year-olds should not have handguns.
Okay, all right. You don't sound like a 20-year-old. You sound like a 40-year-old, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that a lot, man. I appreciate it.
All right, good. But have you ever had a run-in with the law, or maybe you're a little paranoid about you're slightly breaking the law, but have you ever had to deal with the police?
Yeah. I've dealt with the cops, man. I've dealt with the cops a couple of times, like me and my friends, you know, a little shit. We'd get pulled over for having weed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I am a snitch. I love to snitch. I love to tattletale. I love to tell on people.
Oh.
And so I've talked to cops in like that capacity before, you know.
So if the cops pull you over, you and your friends, you just like take them aside and you're like, yo, these guys are fucking, they got all this
like
weed,
these three,
dude.
not me.
I had nothing to do with this. Have you actually, have the cops brought you in and asked you questions about like people you know? Have you?
Fuck no, man. Fuck no. Not
What do you
that
mean?
much. I don't think that I would snitch on people I like, you know?
Well, what do you mean then? How do you snitch?
Well, you know, because I live in a place where there's a lot of fucking crime, right? Like I live kind of in the ghetto still.
All right.
And so whenever I hear some shit going down, I report it. And I hate doing it because it goes against, like, my principles, you know? Like, I feel like a fucking, like, old white woman, you know, calling the cops. Like, I heard gunshots. I heard there's somebody beating their wife.
Right,
And
but
so-
that's the sort of stuff you're calling about? Gunshots and
Yeah.
domestic violence? Those are okay things to report.
Oh, yeah, man, because it's my house now, you know? And it's like, I don't want to live next to this fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. What state are you at, if you don't mind saying?
I'm in New Mexico, man. Southern New Mexico.
New Mexico. All right. Okay. I've only driven through there, so I don't really know much about it. But you're in a high crime neighborhood in like a city?
Yeah, man, yeah. I'm in like it's one of the bigger cities in New Mexico. We don't have fucking like the cities here. Like you're in New York, right?
Upstate, not in the big city.
Oh, you're in rural New York then?
Yeah. New York's a big place.
But yeah, we got like mid-sized towns. I wouldn't call it a city, but it's getting bad now just because, you know, motherfuckers are like coming in with no money, and the people who are coming in with lots of money are buying up all the houses. So we've got like two different kinds of homeless, you know?
What's what do you mean exactly? Two different kinds of homeless, like?
Well, we've
What's
got the
one?
homeless that are being displaced here, right? People that can't afford houses anymore because people from like California and whatnot are buying up all the property, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the homeless people coming in from California and like the surrounding states who are just coming here because it's warmer, because it's a little cheaper.
So like the people who are already homeless migrating in versus the people who are becoming homeless.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, man, aside from that, I can't think of any serious, like, what's the opposite of victimless? Victim-full crimes that I've committed.
Victim-y.
Yeah, victim-y crimes that I've committed. And so, like, I don't know. What do you think, man? Because I think we should really, really draw a line between what's a victim creating crime and what's a victimless crime, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, so are we basically talking about drugs then?
Yeah, because we shouldn't treat drug users like the heroin guy from earlier and like violent criminals like the last guy who was on the same, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a difference at least between drug dealing and drug using. You know, there's I don't know the whole history behind the war on drugs or whatever. I hear it's pretty messed up from that's what the internet tells me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there is some sort of basis of like we don't want the children to be doing heroin. Like at the end of the day, we really don't want the kids to be shooting up heroin. That would negatively impact the world. But,
right. It is bad when kids do heroin.
Right. And that happens around here, even in upstate New York. Like I'm out in the suburbs, like on the edge of rural, and there's still like we get stories up here like high school kids overdosing on heroin and shit. Like it's fucked up. It's strange that that's going on outside the cities. But I don't know. It's like, but that's the whole question. It's like, doing drugs is a sort of victimless crime. You're doing it to yourself. But like, there's that weird balance you got to strike where you also have to provide some resistance against drug dealing, or else wouldn't it just get crazy out of control?
Right, man. But clearly the law isn't working for that, right? Like if the cops could solve it, they would have done it by now. It's been decades.
Sure.
And so, the boring ass answer is that we need education, yeah?
But there's that weird, like, the opposite end of this is, like, they do that weird shit. I forget if it was, like, Canada or Europe, or I actually totally fucking forget where it was. But I saw this stuff where it's, like, in a major city center, they've got a group that's, like, anti, drug addiction. Like, they're trying to help drug addicts, but they're also, like, their main function is to give drug addicts free, clean drugs. Just like also doesn't seem like the answer. Like giving drug addicts the clean, safe environment to do drugs seems like it's enabling drug addicts.
Well, you would think so, man, but heroin and meth are so great. People will do them anywhere. And so what you really want is you want to keep them kind of isolated. You want to keep them kind of separated. And you do want to keep them safe so they don't become, desperate addicts and shit. So they don't end up going out and stealing and assaulting people.
Start doing victim-y crimes.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because drugs do cause victim-y crimes, right? At the end of the day, drug users can become violent. But if we treat them like people and treat it like a medical issue, then it doesn't have to, you think?
That's why I don't know. I don't know what the best answer is. It just seems weird to me either way, whether it's arresting everybody who's ever touched drugs or like kind of encouraging it by saying like this is the government sanctioned drug zone where you can do nice, clean, free drugs. Either one of those seems weird to me.
Yeah, right. I'm really just trying to get a drug town established here, like a little drug Italy established in my town.
This is what you want.
Go to heroin Walgreens or some shit.
It could be like a little, like a photo booth. You just go in there. All right.
Get my film developing done and shoot a little H. All right, man. It was good talking
thanks for
to you.
calling in. Yeah. Yeah. Have a good weekend, bro.
You too, brother. I love you.
Hey, love you too. Nice. Got a little love in there at the end. Should I take the piss? If I can hit do not disturb mode before someone calls. It's gonna be piss time. Nope. We'll save it
Call
for later.
from
Sam.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Sam.
Dude, how are you?
Yeah, dude. Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. You're calling into the crime call-in show. Did you want to confess to a crime or just talk about crime?
Man, it's like it's a story, but
Okay.
I'm not sure if a crime ever really occurred, but
I'll determine that.
yeah. So, you be the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on a base in Japan, also in the Marines. I think you have a lot of former Marine following here.
I think so,
I
too.
don't know why it is. Maybe it's just a bunch of psychopaths just really enjoy your show.
Yeah. I don't want to... Yeah.
So shout out to Nikolai, because I'm one of the douchebags
officers, not one of his, and not one of the ones that gave him a shitty little essay. But
does that sound familiar to you when you were hearing that?
dude, all the bullshit is like, it's amazing how predictable and the exact same it is everywhere you go. And like, not that he has served that long ago, and I think I was a little bit after him, but I'm out now too. It's just like, oh, assignment essay, just a waste of fucking time. Waste their time. You know what else is a waste of time? Somebody, on the other side of that story has to read that essay and says, oh, we should look this up online and see if it's plagiarism. Then how much work it takes to like bring this kid in and play interrogator. It's like the whole thing is just such a game.
You don't think that makes the whole military stronger? To weed out these plagiaristic assholes?
These sons of bitches.
Could you imagine what they're doing overseas in the name of
you're there.
In the name of the United States?
Yeah, that's exactly where your tax dollars are going. Paying some lieutenant $60,000 a fucking year.
I want a panel.
To Google some kid's essay. That's just the salary. That's not benefits. Like, it's absurd, man. And not to offer more commentary on a story that doesn't belong to me, but for Nikolai to call into the crime thing, like people are saying, oh, that's not crime. Somebody cheating on an essay, they got in trouble in school or in training, whatever. No. If you get written up, it is an actual crime. Like there's like different articles that are written in the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, for which you can, have somebody on somebody's record that they committed a crime, and said crime was, it'd be like general disorder. Oh, well, what was the general disorder? Poor Nikolai just didn't feel like doing a fucking essay.
Wow.
And that is an actual crime.
That's on
against
his permanent record?
The government. Well, I don't know if it's permanent, but if it escalates, I mean, I've been on the other side of this, where that paperwork, especially if there's, for more serious offenses, if there is a paper trail of serious issues, all of that's going to be brought up during court-martial and will be used to convict. And that will be on the permanent record, whether it's a misdemeanor, felony.
I was getting the impression that Nikolai would just be like put into an endless essay cycle where it's like you plagiarize this essay, now you have to write a 4-page essay about why it's bad to plagiarize.
Well, that's, if there's truly a bad, sometimes they are kids. If there's truly a bad kid that's like, they're not going to fucking do their work and they need to get out. Yeah, keep giving him essays, he'll keep cheating. And then you can build the paper trail and then escalate punishment. Look how many times, we use the tools in our toolbox and we've demonstrated that this person cannot change. Therefore, get them out of the military or whatever it is.
So that would be someone who is
someone like
performing
Nikolai, a terrorist.
Well, right, but in reality, like you're saying, it would be someone who is, you already want them out for other reasons, but you can then like you can usher them out by just like forcing them to do.
It would be for other reasons, man. Yeah, right. It's like
it's not because they didn't perform well enough as Lance Corporal Susie.
Not at all, exactly, and as well as Lance Corporal Susie, we would try to save people too.
Right.
It's like, hey man, like I'm begging you to not fuck this up again because you're, whether they're a good dude or dudette, not but they're a good person and we want them on the team.
They're good, like good dude this, like, and dudette.
You're a good guy and girl. And we just wish she the very best.
That's the most valuable military person you can have. Oh, yeah. Go on. Wait, did you have... Yeah, go on.
Exactly. I wasn't calling to interject in Nikolai's story or provide commentary.
That's good, though. That's all. Callers are allowed to talk about previous callers. That's a great thing. Appreciate it.
There was, toward the end of my time in Japan, I wasn't in the same place that Nikolai was, but over 3 years, I gathered so much pocket change. And at the end of every business day, I would take that pocket change and throw it in a Solo cup in my food pantry. And whenever that Solo cup got full, I would just grab another one, fill it up, grab another one, fill it up. After 3 years of this, okay, it's like, and one thing you have to understand is in Japan, the currency all the way up to 500 yen, so essentially $500, is all coinage. It's not paper money. So you go home every day, if you spend money, with 6 pounds of fucking change in your pockets. So grab it up, fill it up. All right, so by the end of 3 years, I've got like 12 of these things.
Nice.
And I'm trying to check out so I can actually go home. And brought all this shit to a bank, and I was like, here, I'm ready to turn these in and get my cash. They're like, oh, you're going to have to put all these into sleeves. I'm like, sleeves? Like, you know, like those little cardboard sleeve things? And it's like, I said, you don't have a Coinstar machine? Why would I have to put them in all in the sleeves? And they're like, yeah, we don't have one of those machines. And to be fair, I had like Korean currency, Australian, American, Japanese, like all this bullshit all mixed together. So it's like, please don't make me do this. Because there's so much. They send me away with a stack of these cardboard things. And I shit you not, I spent 2 or 3 hours a day for the next 2 weeks when I could be like seeing people, seeing Japan, and like just having the time of my life at the end of my my time out there, filling these little shitty cardboard sleeves full of coins. Bring those back. Okay, and this is in August when it was 100 degrees outside and I'm sweating my ass off carrying $40 or 40 pounds. It came out to being like $800 worth of coins or something like that.
Nice.
But so carrying all these things in plastic bags, just of these sleeves of coins. Get up to the counter. She says, oh, we're going to have you take them all out of these sleeves. I said, what, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm going, like, making a scene. And I never do this, man. I'm usually pretty cool and, like, understanding. And I was pissed off because I had spent so much time filling these things. Like, no, we're going to have you put them into these trays. They hand me these plastic trays now that I have to break all this shit out of the fucking cardboard coins, and this is going to take me another few hours to do in the bank. So I'm sitting there in the waiting lobby of this fucking bank, breaking these things, like being a total asshole, loud, like smashing these cardboard coin things over the corner of this coffee table, and like throwing things everywhere. So I've got Solo cups and plastic bags, my binder, like feeling like an idiot. Doing the thing. I'm exactly halfway done through sorting all this shit out. An MP comes in, full kit, so they've got, usually MPs, they walk around on base in flapping Kevlar and rifles. This dude comes in and is like, we've got an emergency, we need you to lock down the bank now. And the staff behind the counter is like, what's going on? He's like, just do it, there's no time. Just close everything up. And then he leaves. And I'm there with all my shit scattered everywhere. And I walk up to the counter and I'm like, can you take these coins? Can you I swear crime is worked in here, I promise. But I was like, can you take these from me? I was like, please, just like, so I can evacuate with you guys. And I'm like, no, we have to count everything behind the counter and take accountability of all the cash that they're supposed to have, not a cent more. So you have to keep all that stuff. I'm like, I have all this shit everywhere because you made me break all this open. Why do I? So I'm like scraping my arm over the coffee table, like filling this plastic bag. Coins are bouncing all over the place. I'm like, fuck it, that's good enough. And I've grabbed all this stuff. I've got both of my arms full of all this bullshit. I step out of the bank, which goes into like this hallway before it leads outside into the parking lot. 2 steps into the hallway, and I stop. Coins are bouncing around all over the place. There are 10 MPs with like rifles drawn, like N2 canine units, like information condition 3, like rifles almost pointed up and at me. And I'm realizing it looks like I'm robbing the fucking bank. And I have no idea what they're there for. And to be honest, I don't even know if they knew what they were there for. You know, they probably just got a call and said, "Hey, response going on in the area."
Mm-hmm.
And like the only thing that saved me was the fact that I was in uniform. But that doesn't even fucking mean anything, because there's like shootings and bombings and stuff and crazy stuff that Marines or service members do all the time, and they're in uniform shit. So
were you able to make it out of there with the coins?
We all held eye contact for, I swear, like 3 seconds. Nobody said anything. Nobody stopped me. I just, like, again, like, coins are like tinking across the ground as I'm slowly walking through this this fucking crazy ass formation of Marines that are like walking past me with their dogs who are ears up, like two German shepherds who are ready to fucking tear me apart. And I get into my car, sweating my ass off, and I've got a picture of it, man. If there's somewhere I can post this picture of all the shit that I was carrying, like, it's just ridiculous.
Dude,
so,
text it to this number when you're off.
Oh, text it to this number? Okay.
I want to see it.
But fucking, I think it ended up being a bomb threat, which is sadly pretty routine. And it's never anything. It's usually some kid leaving his backpack.
Were you ever able
in a public place.
get this money?
Yeah, I think I ended up going in some other day because I didn't want to be questioned or anything like that. But after that, went back in. Luckily, was not apprehended or suspected of leaving a bomb anywhere and or robbing a bank. But
but in that hallway, it was all bets were off for a second there.
Dude, it was a Mexican standoff between myself and
the United States
10
Army.
10 dudes with guns. Yeah. 10 dudes with guns and 2 dogs who were like, wanted to find somebody to kill. And I was like, hey man, good time to get out of the military. But
all right, hey man,
anyway,
thank you for calling in.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was good talking to you.
Have a good stream.
All right, have a good one, dude. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice. All right. We're going to take a break. What do we got? Yeah, like a 5-6 minute break here, and then we'll be back doing more call-ins. Okie dokie. Again, the music from the stream is from Windows 96. All the music on this stream is from their album Gradient Horizon. The link to purchase or stream that album is in the description of this video. It's on YouTube, Bandcamp. Also, I played a video early at the very beginning of the stream that was a collaboration between Windows 96 and Dystopia Kid. The link to that is also in the description. Who's this?
Call from.
Logan?
To accept, press 1.
Logan?
Yeah, hello.
What's up, dog? How you doing?
Hey, I'm just chilling. Day off, you know.
Nice. Good. What about tomorrow? You got tomorrow off?
Yeah, bro, all weekend.
Yeah. So
Man, I just got paid today, bro. I'm chilling.
Huh?
But, man, you want to hear some crimes?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, here.
What you got? Are you a criminal?
I mean, not one that's been in the system lately, no.
Okay.
But not in the system at all, actually. I don't think so. I don't think so, at least.
What have you done? What have you done that you haven't been punished for?
Okay. Before I get into it, I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think children, not like toddlers, but like say 12 to 7, should they be held accountable for their crimes? Depending on the scale of them.
What'd you say? 12 to 17?
12 to like 7. I'm saying like kids.
Oh, okay. No.
I wouldn't really consider a 17-year-old a child.
I think no.
You wouldn't hold them accountable?
You feel differently?
I mean, it depends. Like, if it's something small, then like, yeah, you can be like, hey, don't do that. But
what? I mean, yeah. I mean, what are you talking about? You talk about murder, genocide. If there was a genocidal 12-year-old, I mean, maybe we would have to kind of try to nip that in the bud.
I have a crime that I did about 11 years ago when I was 11 when this happened.
Okay.
And it was arson. It was pretty stupid, to be honest.
Mm.
Just, kids, being dumb as fuck, getting their parents in a lot of trouble,
What were you setting on fire?
There was this Radio Shack next to my house, and it was abandoned.
Yeah.
And me and my friends, we just decided to go in there, hang out, have a little fun. And one of my friends had a lighter on him, and there was tons of papers in there. And, people say I'm a pyromaniac, but I don't really think so. Like, I don't see a fire and be like, man, that's nice. That is a nice flame growing over there. But I don't really think of myself that way. But people have been telling me that, like, yeah, bro, something was up with you in that flame. But, yeah, we went in there, and he had a lighter, and I was like, oh, give me that lighter. And there was tons of papers in this shack. Like, we had no idea what it was used for. But, yeah, we started lighting papers, and one thing led to another, and it got out of control. So me and my friends, we tried to put it out. We tried the best we could, but it was just filling up with smoke so fast we couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So we freaked out, and we dipped. We just left it burning.
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking around the next neighborhood, the block over, and we were just hanging out still. I don't think nothing ever happened. And boom, you just hear the fire alarms and everything. All these fire trucks and ambulances come rushing down the road. And we're like, okay, we're just going to act like we have nothing to do with this. And one of my friend's older brothers, he came out. And he already knew. He clicked. As soon as he saw all of us together, he was all, this can't be good. So he ran back home, and we were like, okay. So we went to go chill in the park for a little bit. Then we got swarmed with cops, and Man, it was crazy. My sister got the worst of it though. I don't even know why. My sister was there with us. Man, she actually got handcuffed and like put on the hood, and they put her in the back seat, and I got front shotgun. I was like, okay. I was like, wow, that's tough. But yeah, so they took us to the jailhouse, and we had to write our statements of what happened. And it kind of blew over easy though. I think it was. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad that I did it now. Kind of regret it. Feel like my life would have been a little different than if I did not.
Were you charged? Were you ultimately charged with anything?
No. Apparently, the guy who owned the place, like he still owned it, but this happened in Oklahoma, the same, and he lived all the way in California or Colorado, or I think it was something like that. It started with a C, but yeah, he was being shot to the court hearing, and this whole case was like 3 years in the making, and the whole time he'd never showed up to any court hearings. So they just gave me like an hour and 20 of community service, and just said, "Yep, you're good." Had to pay a little fine.
How do you feel? Do you feel that was appropriate, or not enough, or too much,
I mean,
or what?
I feel like I got really lucky. I feel like it could have been way worse, I feel. But
do you think
I feel like it wasn't as good, though.
Because you asked, should children be held accountable for crimes? Like, what do you think about yourself in that situation? You mentioned how, you didn't really understand. It seems like the way you told the story, it wasn't your intention to burn down the building. It was just your intention to...
Nah, I said kids being stupid.
Right. Which is probably why we give kids leeway, right? Like, because they don't fully understand the consequences of their action.
Yeah, you're right.
But is that how you felt in your case, or did you think like you thought you got away with something like?
Well, I mean,
you weren't a serial arsonist, were you? It wasn't like you did that and it was like, oh shit, now this means I can burn down whatever the hell I want.
No. I got out of that. I don't say I mess with fire much anymore, but it turned into something new, I'd say.
What do you mean?
I'd say recently, these past couple of years, I have got just this weird sensation of just stealing stuff whenever I go into places. And I don't it's not like big stuff. Like it could be like, I can go in there and see, I don't know, a bag of chips or something. And I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll just take that.
What kind of places then? Like, are you talking just specifically like
or whatnot?
But not like you go into someone's house and you're like, ooh, look at all these lovely things.
Oh God, no. Oh hell, no. I would never. That's too much for me. That's too much heat.
Hey, I get the feeling to steal, especially when it's like it's just a giant like corporation. Like it feels so.
Fuck these guys, man. They got too much money already.
Exactly. It feels very victimless. It's like, oh no, like I stole a $5 sandwich from this multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, and plus, if you're really needing something like that, I'm pretty sure you can, explain yourself to where they would understand and just let it go.
You think so? Yeah, it sounds like you're biased from having this kind of nice experience as a kid where they weren't too harsh on you.
Yeah, that's what I said. I got an easy way out.
But you're a good man now. You'll never do anything bad ever again. You learned everything.
No, I hope not. I'm going to be a great, great person the rest of my life.
Good. All right, hey, man, thanks for calling in.
Hey, no problem.
Have a good weekend.
Oh, wait, I got a question now.
Sure.
I got a question.
Go for it.
When is Carman Part 2 coming out, bro. I really like the first one.
I hope this month. I was
Really?
getting really busy. I opened up commissions last month, so I got a lot of like individual little things that I've been having to do for a lot of different people.
Right.
I've done most of them at this
gotcha.
point. It's almost done, but once those are completely done, then I'll be back on Carman. But
All
thank
right,
you
man.
for. I'm glad you
Appreciate
enjoyed it, man. It'll be soon.
Oh, that's great.
All right, see you, bro.
All right, see you.
Oops. Cut him off. Cut him off at the end. My bad. Yeah. Carmen episode 2 featuring Turnip will be out at some point. Hopefully this month.
Call from
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
Yeah, I'm back. I can't believe it. I got it again.
Yeah, Doug, how's it going?
I'm all right. You know,
You're calling
Just
into
finishing
the crime stream. Did you want to talk about
Indeed,
crimes you've
yeah.
committed or just crime in general? What's up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll preface it with this. I'm a pretty mild-mannered guy, you know. I'm not the kind to go around burning buildings or, you know, like stealing stuff or attacking people.
Okay.
But when I was younger, you know, younger than I am now, I guess I'm young still, but I had a incident where I mean, I guess this is a crime. I mean, I didn't get arrested or anything, although I got close to it. It was a case of assault. Me being the assaulter, obviously, but yeah, it was back in high school, and I was with some buddies, right? And like, there was just this fella that I really didn't like. It was kind of like looking back on it, like kind of an asshole, you know, because like the guy wasn't really like he wasn't like a bad guy or anything, you know. He was just sort of, I don't know, one could say strange, you know, like kind of the fellow that I don't know. He would make weird jokes and things. He would look at me in funny ways. I don't know. I remember one time he would always like call out to me in the middle of classes and things, and like I don't know, he'd say weird shit, like he'd say like nice shirt or this and that. Like I don't know, he might have been autistic or something. I have no idea. So this sounds like a real asshole. But
this
hold on.
behavior, him saying you have a nice shirt, this is leading up to you beating the crap out of this guy.
All right. Well, okay. Like, let me explain myself here. Let me just try and get you in the mindset of
Okay.
you know what I'm going through. Okay.
Yep.
Because okay. So you know, okay, naturally, if we take into account that I'm emotionally unstable, you know, real emotional, hormonal adolescent type, right? Okay, that's you got to
Okay.
factor that in.
Goes without saying.
Right. Now, this guy, you know, was like this like big kind of rough around the edges type of fellow, like really, I don't know, like you ever seen the film Heathers or like the play Heathers, you know, that thing?
No, actually, it's something I need to
No,
watch.
okay. Well, anyway, he looked a lot like the character, like JD or whatever. He's like kind of this greaser type almost, you know, but like, you know, sort of aloof, didn't care about shit, you know, kind of, you know, he was just, he wasn't, I wouldn't necessarily call him like a bully or like a jock or anything, because he wasn't like popular enough to warrant that, but he was, you know, he was just kind of like an asshole generally. He was just kind of like, just kind of a strange fellow.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was walking around town one day, you know, no, not walking around town actually. It was just, I was hanging out at a shop, at a, like a, what do you call those? Cafe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not cafe, whatever. It was a place we hung out anyways. This came out after school. And this guy, you know, like, yeah, I don't know if I want to tell the story actually. This is kind of, I just realized it's kind of just something about me being an asshole. The guy just kind of spilled his drink on me and then beat the shit out of him, honestly. There's not really much of a build up to this. I don't think I really want to tell this. This is just kind of me being a dick when I was younger. I almost got arrested because of that, because there was a police officer like right there. But I was like, he had to be broken up, and I I broke his nose and everything.
My
It was
God.
bad.
All right, so
Yeah.
this was building inside you for a long time.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, if I'm really being honest, it's probably just like some psychosexual shit going on there, right? Like maybe I just really attracted to him or something, and I'd expressed it in that way. Who knows?
I mean, I wasn't gonna assume that.
Oh, okay. Well,
but since you said it, like, yes,
Yeah.
definitely was a sexual thing, like beating the crap out of someone. You got some wood during that. You got some mahogany.
sure, yeah. Why not? I mean, like, that's like violence and sex, like the same thing, basically, right? Like, fundamentally.
That's
You don't think so?
a
Passion?
that's a good just general assertion for a different topic. But
Yeah.
next time when we do the sex and violence stream, that's what we do.
Right, of course, yeah.
All right, but you've so then you beat this guy up because he spilled a drink
Yeah.
on you, and also he was aggravating for years and years. This was a feud that was building inside your mind. Nobody knew about it but you, obviously. Now, but what happened to you in that situation? The cop obviously would be like, "Hey, stop." Did they take you in?
Yeah,
Did they handcuff you?
No, I think the thing is, I don't think the cop really knew what was going on. Like it wasn't. I didn't make like a big scene about it to begin with. I just sort of sat there, like with like my pants drenched. It was like he spilled some like soda or whatever on my jeans, and I don't know. I guess I just took it the wrong way because he just seemed really unapologetic about it. Like he said sorry, but it didn't sound like he was really sorry. And then I just jumped up and like started kept punching the shit out of the guy.
Said
and, like,
something like
that sort of thing.
you'll be sorry, something like that.
I don't. What, the guy said that? I mean,
That's what you're saying. You'll be sorry after I
Oh no!
break your nose.
I didn't say anything. That's the thing. I was totally silent. I just grabbed him and started punching him. So like the cop, it was for like a half a minute. I was just like punching the shit out of him. All my friends were just kind of watching me. And then the cop like sees this and he's like, "Oh my god!" He goes over and he like grabs me by my shoulders and he just pulls me back and he puts me on the floor and all that shit, just like the cop tackle, which was pretty bad, obviously. But like I don't know. I guess the cops really didn't see any need to go further, press charges. The guy just kind of ran away, as one would expect, I guess.
And you were youngish at this time, right?
I was youngish, yeah. So I guess maybe he saw like a kindred spirit in me or something. He's like, oh, he's just like a misguided youth type of thing. I don't know.
Reminds me of me. This guy beating the shit
out of a guy when I was younger. Of course.
Was it after? When was the moment when you were tackled to the ground that you realized, like, you know what, I was going too far? When did you finally realize that maybe you shouldn't have gone as hard as you did?
I didn't really feel bad initially, or even when the cop tackled me. Like I was still I didn't struggle when he grabbed me because I was like, yeah, probably. I'm not gonna,
okay, good. You weren't trying to push through it. You're like, fuck this. It's my only goal right now to kill this guy.
Yeah, it was actually like more or less like after I graduated that I realized like I was kind of just being a dick in that situation. It was the entire time I thought it was totally justified, and all my friends corroborated it. They were just like, yeah, dude. I mean, it's probably because of that actually that I did that. My friends weren't the greatest at the time. No, I was like, yeah, dude, you should have done that, because he messed with you, right? He picked the wrong fellow to fuck with. I dropped his drink on, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't the best person.
It does seem like the fucking classic. It's like that's what they did to Spider-Man in high school.
To Spider-Man?
Like,
probably, yeah.
You were that bully in the Spider-Man movie. If only this guy had superpowers.
Yeah, he'd gotten superpowers and then done something like rip me to bits with his web powers.
But you did learn eventually. You at some point you looked back and you're like, I guess that was a little much.
I kind of wish I had reconciled with the guy because I mean, like, they probably didn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him after that. Frankly, I didn't see much of him after that, as you can imagine. But
yeah, I was about to say, he wasn't talking to you in class anymore after that.
No, he just kind of kept like his distance from me. Like he didn't he used to say things to me or whatever. Just like it was just like in a kind of jeering way, like a sort of like not quite mocking but not quite friendly either. Just kind of like in a, I don't know, stand up, like trying to get laughs, I guess. He didn't do that anymore. So, he wasn't trying to be a class clown.
So you did solve that problem.
I did solve that. Yeah, so there's that, one could say. I mean, some people end up knowing, like, finding out about that, and then I got kind of, distance that maybe wasn't warranted from other people as well, aside from him. So,
yeah. Did you get any sort of reputation?
A reputation? No, not really. I mean, like, again, it was mostly just girls who didn't want to be around me anymore because, like, they thought I was, like, some kind of dangerous person. Which, I mean, I can understand that, I guess.
Honestly, it goes against
it's weird
what
too,
I
because, like, I'm not
about girls. I thought they liked it. I thought that's what they liked.
They like that. They really don't. I don't know what the deal is with, like, bad boys. I think it's just because, like, I'm not that kind of bad boy, like, cause I'm not, I wasn't, like, violent in the way of like a cool guy is, like some kind of, like, I was a motorcycle and a leather jacket and all that. Like, I'm like a regular, I'm kind of like a nerdish kind of quiet type, who just lashed out one time,
right,
like, really
it's scary.
violently.
It's scary when you have an outburst. It's not what they expect.
Looks like you're like a psychopath or something. I'm not not attractive in that way. Yeah.
All right, hey man, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it was great to get that off my chest. Finally, that guilt's been eating me up for decades now.
Good, and I hope that your victim was listening and he knows that this has been eating you up inside.
Right.
All right, have a good weekend, man.
Right. You too.
Bye. I think I told the story. Oh, never mind.
Call from
Nick?
Nick?
Yes.
Yo,
Hey.
what? Yo, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get on. Hey, what's up? Crime, right?
That's right. What you got, Nick?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a good boy, so I haven't done too much. But
that's right.
Yeah, back whenever I was like 2 years ago, I was in the military, and I got to experience a shooter situation. So yeah, it was during the pop off during the virus portion. I don't want to say what it was, but it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. And I decided that it would be funny if I got on my Snapchat and started taking pictures of myself fighting the coronavirus. I was bored and I was being stupid. And I remember one specific post I put was, I'm gonna cap the virus's ass with an orange and yellow pop gun that I had in my car. So. So I went to go get my pop gun out of the car, and
what is a pop gun for us that don't know, including me?
Okay, well, so in some small towns they'll have these $1 toys, these horrible $1 toys that they try to pawn off on children and their single mothers. So. Is very easy to find. You just have to go to a gas station, and they'll have these revolver-looking things that are orange and yellow, and have a mechanism on the back where it pops into some sort of cylinder that makes like a pop noise, like a snap noise, like those fireworks that you throw to the ground.
The same as like a cap gun. That's the same thing, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a cap gun. So
Gotcha, yeah.
I went and got this cap gun, and apparently walking around the barracks at 3 a.m. isn't a very good idea on a Wednesday night. So I ended up having the MAs, the military police. They were called on me, and so
because you were wandering around the base with a cap gun.
Because I'm wandering around the base with a cap gun, posting on Snapchat that I'm gonna murder the virus that came from a place. It was back like whenever it was shifting into it. I thought it was funny. I was gonna barricade my room, and yeah. So also, just to kind of set it up, I was wearing unicorn pajamas and a ninja mask.
So this is the person that the military police see walking around, and there's about 14 of them, and they find me, and they all scream at me to get on the ground, and then they tackle me, and then they immediately rush me to the police station on base, where they find out that they actually asked me. That they had me sitting on the sidewalk for a second, and I was just kind of leaned down. They're like, so do you have a gun on you? And I pulled out my cap gun, and they were not happy. The medical personnel.
I was expecting you to say they laughed out loud.
No. They just weren't happy. Right? The medical professional, the medic or whatever, came in at one point, and he was rushing to me, and he bent down on his knees, and he grabbed me by my shoulders, and he was shaking me, and he said, "Are you okay? Are you gonna kill yourself or someone else?" And I was just kind of sitting to the side, a little embarrassed. I was telling him what I was doing, and that they weren't happy about that situation. But I got roughed up a little bit. That was.
You got roughed up? What do you mean?
Well, like I said, they tackled me, and they held me to the ground for a while, and a couple of guys came and they were punching me. Don't kill yourself! Fuck you! They thought I was a danger. I couldn't help it.
Is that a big problem? Because you're the second person now who's referenced this. Is that a big problem in the military? A lot of people capping themselves.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Even while,
fortunately,
while serving.
Yeah, especially while serving, actually.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people, especially in higher positions, I knew a couple of people in higher positions that ended up killing themselves. There's a lot of pressure put on them that they aren't allowed to share a lot of the time, and that can lead to suicide, or there can be familial disputes. I remember one person, his wife cheated on him. That's a normal thing that happens, but he ended up killing himself over because he lost his children and he lost his wife, you know. It happens a lot.
Do you think it's more common with officers?
Especially.
Really?
Oh, no, not officers. No, whenever I say higher up, I mean someone like an E7 or an E6, which is a chief or like not a drill sergeant, but in the popular media would have it be like a drill sergeant, or like the higher up enlisted are the ones that I knew. I never really talked to the officers much, but there apparently are a lot of suicide problems with them as well. Yeah.
Damn, and you're just out there trying to have you're making light of the situation, and they're like beating you to the ground.
Yeah, that's not the only time the military screwed me over, but the rest aren't easy to put in the story form. So I figured I'd share the crime story.
That was a good crime. Yeah, that was. I mean, do you feel like you deserved what you got? Maybe a harsher punishment.
I don't think I deserved what I got at all. My main issue with it is one of my friends probably reported me because they brought the Snapchat as evidence against me. That means that it was one of my friends who shared it to one of the
How do they even find that out? Like, are they on Snapchat, like monitoring this, or they just like they know who your friends are and they bring them in for questioning?
Well, obviously the friend reported and brought in evidence against me. That probably what had happened.
Oh, you say your friend reported it?
Yes, or not necessarily a friend if it's on Snapchat, because sometimes you meet someone, you add them, and you never talk to them again.
Do you think they would report it like out of legitimate Like you said, the guys who were tackling you were thinking you were going to kill yourself. Do you think that would have been the nature of the report based on the Snapchat? Like, it just seems silly. Like, the Snapchat sounds like it's a whole, like, comedy, silly thing. You're going to kill the coronavirus.
Right, you would think so. I mean, I get it to a degree, but especially with the situation like the recent shooter who was posting his stuff to Instagram, apparently. But at the same time, if you were to look at those Snapchats, you would see my stupid face holding an orange and yellow cap gun saying, "Hey, I'm going to get you," inward to the coronavirus. Right. So I don't personally know how you can see that and take that as anything other than a joke.
You're obviously not a danger to yourself or anybody with a not real gun.
Exactly, yes.
Especially in a place full of people who have real guns.
Untrue, actually. Most you're not allowed to have a gun on the base.
just MPs?
No. Yeah, just the MPs or some security. Okay. No guns otherwise, yeah.
So that was part of the issue, is like they saw that you had something shaped like a gun.
Yeah, I believe so. But once again, it was very obvious that it wasn't a murder device. It definitely would not have hurt a single fly. But they took that choice and they made it. I don't know. I feel like the best reaction would have been to talk to me instead of immediately taking me down and having 13 other guys point their guns at me.
Right.
That feels a little overboard.
Are you not in the military at this point?
I'm not anymore.
How's that been?
Yeah, it's been okay. Not the best, but everyone has their own issues.
You ever think about doing this again? Taking your cap gun out for a ride on the town?
Oh hell yeah! I actually got the cap gun because one of my friends bought it on a road trip, and we were doing drive-bys in Detroit.
That sounds so much worse than what you got beat up for.
I know. She bought it, and we were both blaring "fuck the police" in the car, and driving by her neighborhood growing up, and we were popping caps.
Jesus.
That was.
All right, hey man, thank you for calling in, dude.
Thank you. Hey, I'm a big fan. You have a good day.
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye. Nice. Probably do one more call here and then take a break.
Call from
Scott.
To accept.
Scott.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man. Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. So this is about crime.
Yes, sir.
So 10 years ago, I was dating this girl, like first love, somebody you meet, and found out that she'd been cheating on me.
Mm-hmm.
Found some information out about it. Found out like what kind of car the guy was driving and yada yada. And one day I commuted to her house, which was an hour away.
How'd you find that out? Was that a friend or a private investigator, or where'd you get that?
That she was cheating on me at the time?
I meant the car, the make and model of the car that you followed.
Oh no, I asked her about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I asked her about it.
And she told you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then go on.
So one day, I was still with her, by the way. It's first love, you know what I mean? You do a lot of crazy things when you're young. But
yeah, I get the sense we're about to hear one of those crazy things right now.
Yeah. So we'd had a big fight the day prior, and I was going to make things up to her. You know, I was going to go to her place and make things up to her. So you two guys. So I was going to. So when I got there to her house, I noticed that guy's same car was like in her driveway, and I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, I can't believe she's like, you know, still cheating on me, and I'm trying to apologize and yada yada. So as I'm walking to her house, I passed by a cop car who's on that street. He like looks for people making like illegal turns or whatever. They were usually on the corner of that street. I passed right by him. The first house on that street too. So he's like literally right in front of the house. So I knock on the door and nobody answers. I'm like, okay. Knock on the door again, nobody answers. So I go around to her window and she has one of those old school like sliding, you can like slide it upwards. So I knocked on the window and I heard movement. And at that time I just got really, really frustrated and I went to push the window up and my hand had completely busted through the glass and broke the windshield right in front of the cop. And
so you look like you're breaking and entering into a house.
Yeah, but right in front of the cop. I mean, it looked pretty bad. So he gets out of the car and I'm immediately trying to explain to myself like, oh no, I've lived here, this and that. And he's just like, get on the ground. Immediately puts me in handcuffs. He opens the door, and her grandmother answers the door. Like it was a little dysfunctional, but let's just say that she was purposely ignoring me. And instantly, as soon as the door opens up, she's yelling, "Arrest him! He's drunk!" Yada yada yada.
Nice.
It was a pretty hectic scene. Her neighbors actually just moved in. And like here I am, like as cops are showing up, I'm handcuffed, like face down on the ground, and they're having this sort of meeting with them all in the house. And what turned out, that dude wasn't actually there. It was actually the new neighbors that had moved in. That was their car, and I totally slipped my mind at the time. But yeah,
damn. So it was just your girlfriend and her grandma in the house?
Yeah, it was just them. Yeah. My girlfriend at the time, thank God, right?
Did your girlfriend come out and explain anything, or did you get hauled to the
eventually, so what they did was they sat her on the couch and they had me stay outside handcuffed. A couple of police officers were outside while I was on the ground face down. And they were on the couch having a meeting, asking them, like, do you know them? And she backed up my story and everything. But, that was like the longest, 20 minutes of my life. Didn't get hauled off to jail or anything. But I think that was, that's the closest I've come in contact with the law. Not the most exciting story, but
that's more law contact than I've had, really. Like, I like how guilty you look in this story.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It started off just something kind of innocent, and it went from 0 to 100 miles an hour real quick.
How long did you say it took to sort it out, from when you're first getting approached by the police to when you're everything's done and over?
I mean, I was there lying down handcuffed for a good 30 minutes before they came out and uncuffed me. At one point, I actually asked one of the officers if I could just sit up because there was ants crawling on my face. And they were just like, no, you need to stay right there on the ground.
So they were treating you like they knew that you were a criminal, a bad guy, until they knew otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, they for sure thought I was trying to clearly break into a house right in front of a police officer. It was, I'm sure criminals do some pretty retarded stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be really out of your mind on drugs to be
Yeah.
that dumb a criminal.
Yeah, I tried explaining that to the cop too, but yeah, they weren't having none of it.
Damn. But it all worked out. You broke up with this girl? Did she break up with you? Tell me. Who broke up with her?
So we it was a mutual breakup. You know, I can gladly say now I'm happily married with a family of my own. No dysfunction there. No more breaking up windows. Yeah, so there's my story.
Do you ever miss it? Do you ever miss that lifestyle? You ever want to go back to those days of breaking into people's houses because you think they're your girlfriend cheating on you?
You know, sometimes the thought of it is sort of thrilling, you know.
Exactly. It's a romantic lifestyle.
Yeah,
full of energy and passion.
Yeah, just a bunch of young emotions running through my head just thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess. All right, hey, man, thanks for calling in.
Hey, thank you, dude. I'm a big fan of what you do, man.
Thank you, man. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye. All right, nice. Gonna take a little break here, 5-6 minutes, and then we'll be back for more calls. Nice. Good. Good. All right. We're doing the last hour now of call-ins, and here they are.
Call from Arthur. To accept, press 1.
Arthur!
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing. I saw you were streaming. I thought I'd call in 50 or 60 times.
I see. You're the only caller for the past, 12 minutes here. It's just Arthur.
Oh, sorry.
You did it. All right.
I did
Wait.
it.
So have you committed a crime you wanted to confess to, or do you just want to talk about crime?
I've committed some crimes. It's been a while, I think. I've committed mostly indoor crimes lately.
Always the nicer crimes.
Yeah. What jumps to mind, and I'm sure we've talked about it quite a bit privately, is stealing street signs as a furious teen.
What kind? Like speed limit signs?
No, like street names. We got Arthur Street. I would do it with my friend Jack. We got Jack Street. We got High Street. We didn't really smoke weed, but it was sort of it was the obvious one. Gay Street. We got Gay Street.
These are just the ultimate things to put outside your door when you're living with your parents?
Oh, we couldn't put them outside. We couldn't put them anywhere. Our parents would have been very mad. So they were just in my friend's sock drawer for, 4 or 5 years.
Okay, I thought you were saying it would be outside your door, this is Arthur's room. Welcome to High Street.
No, there was not even a reason that good.
So you were so embarrassed, or you were nervous that your parents would call the cops on you or enact their own harsh punishment?
Yeah, I think it was more their own harsh punishment. Although I think I don't know about the other people who were doing it with us, but I think my parents just thought it would have shattered their perception of me as a good kid. And who wants to deal with that?
Even
who
though
wants to deal with their.
I mean, as far as crimes go, this has got to be the least offensive, the least victim-y crime you could do.
Well, I don't know about that. I think it's a common crime. But looking back, it's those probably aren't that cheap. I mean, they probably have extras. But then there were different signs. They were attached, affixed to the poles that they were on differently. Some of them you could just kind of snap off. I remember we had one friend who was just freakishly strong. And he would stand on, I remember specifically there were signs we couldn't get off because they were too sturdy. And he would just, because most street signs you would just turn them back and forth and they would eventually snap. So you'd break the sign, but you'd still get all the text and everything. You just break the part where it connected with the pole. But there were some that were bolted on very tightly in a way that made that method almost impossible. And none of us could get those to budge. We had one friend who could just take one of those and just bend it so hard that he'd have to stand on top of the car. So I remember the sound vividly. You could hear the bolts coming out of the sign and landing on the top of the car. And I believe that was how we got Gay Street.
What was the motivation, do you think? Was it just boredom, or was there something more powerful?
Why does any criminal do what they do?
I mean, hey,
I don't know.
You know that I'm not a criminal, so I can't possibly understand the criminal mindset.
I genuinely am unsure. It was something to do, and it felt right at the time. It was before we turned 21 and just put all our energy into having 2 beers and getting tired and going to bed at 11 p.m. We had a lot of energy we needed to expend in other ways, and I guess
it must have also been before
very mild crime.
Before the idea of pursuing women came into your head?
Oh,
Or
no,
did
I
you
mean,
think
was
that this
there.
would be like the inn is like you would carry the gay street sign around with you and that's like a conversation starter?
Oh, we did take women with us several times. And you know what? I think it was kind of impressive. Obviously, we were not going to have sex for many years.
But it would plant the seeds in their mind. You'd
I
be
mean,
like,
I don't know about those particular women. It gave us
No?
a taste for impressing women with recklessness.
that's what I was thinking is that this is the long con. If it didn't work right away, but those women would be like, they would be thinking about it when they go home later. They'd be like, man, those boys ripped that gay street sign. That was the coolest shit I've ever
One
seen.
of them was really strong. They must all be very
The
strong.
man wrestled the sign off the post. But you were never caught. You never had to face any consequences, no?
No, it was a victimless crime in that none of us suffered any consequences for it, and if the state had to pay for it.
The criminals
So
were
it was
not
only the public who
victimized.
paid, not us as individuals.
Do you think? I mean, looking back, do you think you deserved punishment? Would you, if
Oh,
you
I don't
saw,
think it would've done
if
anything.
you saw the some teens of today doing the same thing that you were doing, would you think like, my God, time to call 911 and get these teens off the street?
You know, that would not be my first reaction. I would obviously get my gun in case they case they set one foot on my lawn.
Right. Well, you got like superhuman strength teens. That is terrifying, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. These teens have the X gene. Maybe I'd be doing the world a favor, but no, I would not call 911. I mean, it's an inconvenient thing. I'm sure it sucked for the people who lived on those streets until they got fixed. You know what? I take that back. I doubt anyone noticed. Especially like High Street. The sign, how you knew you were intersecting with High Street was that there was no street sign. We were not the only ones to steal High Street.
Well, so someone earlier asked me whether I thought children should be like held accountable for crimes that they commit. And I said no, because I feel like children don't really understand anything, so it's kind of unfair to treat them like they do. How do you feel about that? Like, is there just a whole category of crime that is just like teenage hooliganism that doesn't really matter? Or should we actually like try to correct these kids?
I don't know. I think there needs to be some system of risk. Like, you don't want people doing that out in the open. But then is the extension of that argument that people should do things, they should just be good at getting away with it? Because in that case, you're just punishing people who are not necessarily like the most criminally oriented teenagers, just the dumbest ones, the ones who don't know how to escape consequences.
Yeah. I think about that sometimes when I'm speeding down the highway and I'm going 90, 95. And I think like it's only the people who don't slow down when they see the cop car, like they see the speed trap. Those are the only people who get caught. So it's kind of like the idea is not that you need to always go the speed limit, but you need to be aware enough of the road that you know when to slow down when the cops are around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going close to 100 miles per hour, I would say you should probably go to prison. But it is true. I mean, that's just the nature of any system of law, I guess, is that until we reach a perfect utopia where the state sees everything we do, and judges it as legal or illegal, the people who are the worst at committing crime will be the ones who are punished, because we all, I don't know how true this is, but they say that, the average person breaks at least a handful of laws every day, just without realizing it or thinking about it. But then obviously there are degrees to that. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's all on a spectrum, and so everything should be illegal, and we should all be executed.
It's either nothing or everything. But I agree with that. I agree with the idea that we won't reach the perfect utopia until every single action is monitored and can be evaluated after the fact. And like we have, the evidence that we can always draw on. I think that sounds like great.
Yeah, and then of course the next step from that will be that once we have a full grasp of the present and what is going on at every moment, and by we I mean the wizards up in Washington.
Right. The wizards.
And then the task will be having a total grasp of the past and judging every past action as legal or illegal. And there's a Mormon practice of baptizing the dead so that they can retroactively be sent to heaven. And we should have that, but for prison.
That's a very good idea.
Thank you.
So people will die, but we've got the perfect record of their life, and then at any point we can go back and reevaluate anybody's success or anything. Like we can there is like the mind prison, what was like the people do that where they get angry at people giving interviews in the past. Like people were angry on the internet about like John Wayne giving an interview to Playboy magazine in 1975 or something. They're like, I can't believe John Wayne said these racist things 50 years ago in Playboy. This dead man in this dead magazine 50 years ago. But I think it's a good
Dig
system.
him up, give him the electric chair.
All right, hey, thanks.
We don't have to be mad anymore because justice will have been served.
It's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Justice is ultimately, it's timeless.
These are good. We should be cops.
All right, hey, thanks for calling in, Arthur.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, bye-bye. Nice. Good, yeah. You shouldn't be, like, if you escape the law...
Call from...
We should be...
Devin.
Huh?
To accept.
Devin? What was it?
Hey. Yeah, it's Devin.
Oh, Devin. What's up? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Pretty good. We're talking about crime today.
Yeah, talking about crime.
What do you got?
I thought of something. So, I'm not like a gold star person by any means, but I try to keep it pretty tame. And, I was just thinking about crime, and one thing came to mind when I was a kid. I guess what that guy said earlier, get bored sometimes when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably about 13 or 14, and had some buddies, and it was like late at night, like, what do we do? And I think this one of our buddies, like older brothers, came over, and he was like, do you guys want to go slash some tires?
Nice.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm like a kid, I don't know about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't much older than us anyway, but I know. I think we just got kind of pressured in because it was like, oh, you're gonna jump out, you're gonna be a little pussy,
right?
And
gay,
yeah, so
fairy fag boy.
Yeah, hey little fag boy, you gonna slash some tires or not? So
only gay boys don't slash tires, you faggot.
I mean, that's definitely kind of how it felt, like when you're a young guy, you're not really sure how the world works, and somebody calls you a little fag boy. Like, what do you do?
Wait a second. I'm not that. Okay, go. Good. Sorry. So you did. Where this story is headed is that yes, you became part of a roving gang of tire slashers.
Yeah, so for that night, we basically roamed my friend's streets, and for about a good hour, we just walked around and picked random vehicles on the side of the street. And it's not even that late, dude. It's like probably 11 at night. People are still driving by. And and every once in a while, like the old guy, he started first, and well, he's not old. He's just a couple years older, but that's a lot when you're a kid.
Right.
So yeah, he comes down and he's got like a little butterfly knife, like a real old gang leader, and he goes down and he punctures a tire. It's just like he just hits one of the tires and it starts squealing, and we're like, holy shit. And yeah, he does it. And
this
then
shit just turned real.
Shit just got real, yeah. So, he does that, and then he gives us the butterfly knife, and we just kind of start walking around, and it was my turn, and yeah, I just kind of bent down, and he's like, "Do it now, do it." I was like, "Oh shit,
do it, gay boy, do it.
Here is it.
Prove you're not gay.
Yeah. Prove you're not gay." So yeah, I push it into the tire, and it's a pretty dull knife, but it goes in. It's not that hard.
Mm.
And yeah, the tire pops, and we kind of I start running, honestly. Like we weren't running. I started running.
How'd you feel in the moment where you're plunging the knife into the tire? Was it pride?
Yeah, it wasn't pride, man. It was like, this is kind of crazy. Like, so it's got like the thrill element.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt like I was, impressing the older guy. Like, oh yeah, you're doing it. You're becoming one of us. So yeah, I guess it was kind of like a little bit of, I'm doing the thing I'm supposed to do at this moment.
You're
it was
proving
kind of
to
thrilling.
yourself and others that you're not gay.
Exactly. That maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like some deep-seated stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I did that, and I started to run, and the older guy immediately was like, "Stop! Like, stop! What are you doing?" So he's like, "You stop, bag boy! Stop running." So I stopped running, and I looked back, and I was a pretty pudgy kid. So I was just this little fat kid running down the street after he punctures a tire, and yeah, he walks us around a little bit more, and we go around. We find like an 18-wheeler. Like we found it was like a trailer, at the back of this neighborhood, and it was like kind of in the backwoods. And he's like, "Let's try to stab this tire." And it was like one of these Big Mac tires, and that didn't go in. That was like fucking knife proof, man. Like we tried a lot, and yeah, that didn't go in. So that was kind of interesting. At least I learned a little something, after property damage. But yeah, looking back on it now, man, it was just kind of sad,
You weren't caught or anything. You didn't have to face the music.
And I think that's kind of the thing, man. I didn't get caught, so at the end of the day, I wasn't beating myself up about it. So I could have, if I would have got caught, I think, I probably would have, like, what the fuck, man. But honestly, for some years after that, I was like, that's not a big deal. But then I bought my own car, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? Like, that's not, you don't just go around popping tires,
But you never, at the time, like, did you feel that at all, or was it just you were entirely focused on the action, not the?
I think I might have had some form of shame, but it wasn't a lot. Like I said, I got kind of like in the middle of the ground. Like I was trying to be a bad kid, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to go to juvenile, juvie or anything.
Right.
Excuse me. But yeah, man, looking back on it now, it's like, what the fuck?
But it's a very common thing, like just being a kid and not getting that what you're doing is like, I don't know. I think it just has to do with like, because when you're a kid, you don't own anything.
I think that's a lot to do. You know, like I said, man, like when I had my own car, I was like, that's like $100 a tire sometimes or more.
What would you do?
So it's like-
What would you do if you discovered the same sort of group that you were, a group of kids trying to slash your tires? If you actually discovered them in the act.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Honestly, like, if it was me now, I'd fucking run them down and, like, probably just, like, shake them to death and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like old man style. Like, what the fuck? You couldn't touch my fucking car. You know, I'd freak out. I'd definitely freak out at them, you know, try to scare them out of doing that shit again. But who knows, man? Maybe they'll go the opposite. Like, oh, we're going to piss off so many old fag boys today, you know?
Right, because the people who own cars are the fags.
No, but honestly, what gets me about it now is like, you know, if I woke up tomorrow, you know, I have to go to work and my car, you know, it's got some slashed tires, you know, that fucking sucks. It's going to take my whole day away, maybe even, you know, a day or two.
Right.
You know, and you're out of commission. It just ruins everything.
And you know it's like for no reason. There's nobody was gaining anything. They just thought it was funny or something.
Yeah, and, you know, I think a lot of, you know, some crime, well, you know, not most crime, but definitely some, you know, portion of crime is committed simply out of, I can do this. Fuck you, I can do this, you know, like.
Well, so you were never caught. You didn't have to be punished for it, but was it something that you did again, or did you stop yourself from engaging in it? I mean, like.
I didn't do that specific thing afterwards, but you know, that was like the first time I ever committed like a real crime. Like after that, it wasn't like, you know, I didn't go around murdering people. I've never stolen anything from anybody, but you know, I used to goof off when I was like in high school and stuff.
So there is like some understanding there of like there's just a certain time period where kids are going to be retarded, and we kind of have to deal with it because we know that generally it doesn't mean that like they're criminal human beings. It just means that they're retarded briefly, temporarily retarded.
Yeah, man. I think they like. Honestly, that's just the thing, you know, with kids are going to be kids and they're all dumb as fuck, you know, so you just kind of have to let them get it out, but in a way that's not going to cause that kind of damage, you know, like you got to find something for your kid to be involved in, or maybe they'll do some shit like that. You know, I didn't do sports when I was growing up. I didn't do much, you know, I was just kind of bumming it with my friends. So I don't know, maybe it was like boredom and just being a dumb kid, you know?
Do you think it would have like seriously fucked up your life had you have like if you like went to, I don't know what the legal punishment is for what you did, but like do you think your life would be screwed if you had to deal with some legitimate like institutional punishment?
I would have been pretty screwed, yeah. I mean, I think like as far as the legal issues, probably not much, like a fine and like maybe like community service or some, you know, some small form of compensation for the state, or, you know, but I think honestly, the worst part would have been like my mom. My mom doesn't fuck around, dude. Like my mom would have been like, she would have slapped my fucking face in, you know, like it would have been bad. That would have been the worst part. I wouldn't give a shit like what the state would do, but my mom found out, she would have just beat the shit out of me.
All right, hey man, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man, love your stuff.
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend.
You too, bye.
Bye-bye. Nice. So many criminals. Pretty much all teenage type criminals, though. We haven't had any, I mean, I guess I don't expect adult criminals to call in and confess their crimes.
Call from
Joe.
Joe.
Yo, how's it going?
Yo, dude, good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. So I've got one for you that I actually ended up getting away with.
Nice.
And it's a couple of felonies, actually.
Ooh.
Kind of all rolled into one. But
Hey, so we pretty much everybody that's been talking so far has been confessing to teenage type crimes. Is this the same scenario?
no, I was an adult,
Okay, nice.
but I like looked it up before I called. Like the statute of limitations has expired like a few times over, so I'm okay with sharing it.
Good.
But yeah, this was like back in my early 20s, and it was like during the whole like rave scene days and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting ecstasy from from this gal, and yeah, no, she pretty soon I was like just getting extras for like me and a buddy,
Mm-hmm.
and then other people were asking like if they could have some, and pretty soon it just kind of fell into my lap that over time I was like moving like 200 or 300 pills a month.
Fuck.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
You became.
Yeah.
You naturally eased yourself into a criminal enterprise.
Yeah, like I said, it just fell into my lap. Like people kept asking, and so I just kept getting more.
Yeah.
So,
What kind of what margin? What are you working on? Like, how much money were you making per pill?
God, I was doing it at the same time, so probably not much.
Not much. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so you're paying
But-
for your habit at least.
Yeah, and was like and everything since I was kind of skipping out on work a lot because of all that, but.
Okay.
But it was, I think I just a rumor shy of getting the noose around my neck, the whole thing too. Because someone was asking if I could get some more, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally can. And someone else at the show we were at mentioned someone was like, had just gotten picked up for moving a bunch of acts. I was like, oh, is it so-and-so? And they're like, yeah. Like, oh, so glad I didn't pick up the phone or drive anywhere. So, yeah, I think she's like, like, this is, third-hand, second-hand information, but she was looking at like years or something. She was, yeah, all.
You're cutting out a little bit, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you indoors, perhaps?
I am indoors.
You're just going a little bit in and out. Can you get to higher ground or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I
nice.
can. How am I sounding now?
You sound fine now.
Great.
All right, so
Yeah.
you were the ecstasy kingpin. Is this like a college or what was the situation exactly?
No, wasn't in college.
But it's like after high school sort of thing, or
Yeah, so I was maybe like 22, 23 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
but
you're like the
no,
guy. Are you the guy in town then?
There was, I assume, others, but yeah, from what I was pushing, I think I was a lot of people, that guy you get the stuff from.
You're the hookup.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that going on then?
That went on for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so probably all in all, I mean, I have to think, like, with that amount and being the intent to sell, that was at least, 3 or 4 felonies in that time period.
Just from the amount that you were moving?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What ended up ending it then?
I think I was explaining that, but I think maybe I was cutting out. But
yeah, I did miss a bit of that.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, no. The gal that I was getting it from ended up getting caught, and I think rumor had it she was looking at like 20 years or something. And someone at a show like asked like if I could get more because I was out, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I had overheard like on my way to the car that just overheard someone saying like, "Oh, someone just got popped," and I asked like, "Oh, was it so-and-so?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, like almost drove to her house." You know? So that wouldn't have looked. So I guess just narrowly escaped the noose, you know.
Right. So you ended up not. You didn't get caught in any way.
Yeah, no, just out of pure dumb luck.
So do you think then, like, you said it was ecstasy, right? That's what you're selling?
It was, yeah.
I mean, in terms of all the drugs, I mean, I've done that drug, and it's not, you know, it's not a very harmful drug. I mean, like, you don't want to be doing it all the time, but as far as drugs go, it's you know, it's just kind of like a party drug. It's not that bad. But how do you feel like about the law in regards to that? Is it fair? Is it just like, is it some big mistake that ecstasy is lumped with the other sort of big name drugs, or do you feel like you actually were kind of like being detrimental to society?
That's an excellent question. I mean, yeah, you take like one or two. I mean, there are people who like die from it, sure.
Right.
So I think that one's kind of like in the gray area.
And if they do,
you know,
is that like because of a bad combination, or is it like is it actually overdosing?
Yeah, overdosing was an issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can be, you know. So it's one of those where it's like you take too much and yeah, you're going to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely not, you know, relatively harmless, you know, like the devil's lettuce or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, no. Gosh, I had a thought about what you were saying about like how we should charge children, or if we should. And like, I kind of thought there are some. I would say there's probably some exceptions to that. You know, like if someone has like psychopathy, right? Like that's not going away. Like you're not gonna give them a reprimand and they learn their lesson. It's neurological, right?
Like if someone committed a heinous, violent crime that's like torturous and everything, that's like, you know, if we can tell that the idea behind the crime is like you were just trying to get some sort of weird, sick satisfaction from someone else's suffering, that's a pretty good indicator that maybe we should take it more seriously than drugs or something like that.
Right, yeah. No, because I mean, it's not a child's fault that they'd have a brain like that, right? You don't choose your genetics or the environment you grow up in, you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but nonetheless, if like you have that sort of brain, like, well, we don't really want you around, you know?
We can't just ignore it. We can't just be like, well, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's not something you'd want to know. Just got a slap on the wrist, you know.
Mm.
You know, a 10-year-old like tortures a classmate or something in an alley or some shit. Like, yeah.
That's a good
So I
good
think-
time for intervention.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thanks for calling in, dude. It was good talking
care.
to you, man. Have a good one. I always think it's funny when the caller ends the call. I could have kept it going. All right, no, I did a bad job on that one. Let me be more present. We're taking a few more calls here before we end the show. The number is 518-288-7938. This is somebody.
Call from.
Order system.
To accept, press 1. To send.
Hello?
Hello?
Yo. What's up?
Yo.
Who's this?
Is Carter System?
Sorry, what?
Hello? Oh, hold on. You know what it is? I got the stream going.
I know.
It's, like,
I
throwing
can
me
hear
off.
it. I can hear it.
It was throwing me off. I got so I've been trying to call in since I got off work. But anyway,
But
crime.
what was any name? Doesn't have to be your name, but just a name I can call you by. I didn't hear it before.
You can call me Bob.
Okay.
I think I
Bob.
said my name like twice, so it's probably in the stream. But
All right. I only heard Bob. Bob is who you are to me. All right, crime. Bob, what do you have to say?
all right, wanted to tell you, it's not like a teenage crime, but like I had this spree of like I was like a kleptomaniac. Like it was a spree,
Mm.
and I was probably like 11, and I was like a serial theft, and I would steal from every gas station and grocery store that I could, and like I had this big Y, and it had this thing where you could like take candy in a bag and then weigh it, and then like you'd like purchase the candy or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the first time I
Like
stole
loose,
the bag was
like
an accident.
loose, like you're filling a bag full of loose, individually wrapped candies. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like that. And the first time I stole it, I was like, it was an accident, and then like it was like very like it was the candy heist, and then like I stole it, and I tried to pay for it by throwing the money inside the candy hole, but it was actually a trash can, so I actually just threw away like $5, and then I left with it, and then I realized that I messed up, and then I realized that I did something, and I realized that if you don't look guilty doing something, that no one questions what you're doing. So every week I go back and I'd steal it.
Oh,
and
no.
then I would steal the candy and then I would sell it at school, and it was great because
Oh, no.
for me it was free candy, and I could steal it every week, and I could just sell it like $1 for a little baggie. And I felt like a drug dealer. I
This is
felt
good.
like I was flipping candy, and then
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to upgrade and start stealing candy bars. So I started stealing like whole candy bars from the gas station. I would bring a big puffer coat and I would just fill it up. And then I would just like buy like a drink and leave.
What was the profit margin here?
The profit margin?
Like,
Crazy.
you're selling. What were you stealing initially? Like, are you talking about like fun size candies? If they're not candy
Yeah.
bars, what are they?
So we're talking about like, you know, like little 25-cent candies, and I would bag them up, and I would just sell them. Like I would just sell them. Like I think like I'd put like 15 pieces in a bag and sell it for $1. And
Was there a
like, I
market
knew I-
price? Was it changing? Did you have to adjust to demand or anything, or was it just like whatever you?
No,
felt
I
like?
No, I didn't. But I started to bring my friends in, and we kind of made like a little gang. So I told people, I was like, guys, I have this idea. Why don't you just steal candy from the Big Y, and we could be rich? And they're like, yo, this shit is great. Like, how do you do it? I was like, you just go in there, you grab a bag, you fill it, and you walk out. Like, you just don't look at anybody, because we're like 9 or 11. They're not gonna question it. They don't know. Just grab it and leave.
They don't
Like, they're just
know
gonna-
yet. They think we're just innocent. They don't understand. We already understand the evil of the world.
And then we found this older guy. Like he was like 15, and he told him he thought it was a great idea, but he actually was like, I think he actually used to sell drugs. So like I don't know. It got really bad, and then like he had us like stealing it, and then we'd like give it to him, and then he was like selling it.
Was he like packaging
And-
it with drugs?
I don't know what.
Like you
he
could
was-
get
he
a
probably
gram
was.
of
I don't know.
weed and 3 Milky Ways?
I don't know what he was doing with the candy, but like he would like basically tell me what to steal from the place. Like he'd be like, I want you to get me like this many Jolly Ranchers and bring it back, and he would give me like $20 and then just tell me to like skedaddle.
Alright.
And that was really dope. But he was a weird kid. Like I remember one time like I went to go give him the candy, and he like pulled out like a BB gun, and just started like shooting me, and he just like took the candy. It was crazy. And then there's the other time. This is the story I wanted to tell you. Was he like had me like throwing rocks at cars, and this was the only time like I ever did something where the cops were called on me, and he's like, you want to do something fun today? And I was like, sure. And he was like, let's go throw some rocks at houses. And I was like, I guess that sounds cool. So we go and we like walk like 5 blocks to like this like really rich neighborhood because he said it would be more funny if the houses looked nice because we lived in a shitty neighborhood. So like all the windows were usually broken anyway. So it didn't.
Yeah.
So like it made more sense to throw it at these really nice houses. And we got a bunch of other kids on the idea, and we thought it was really funny. So we went to these houses, and we were like, they were just pelting like bricks and rocks at these houses and breaking windows. And like I thought they were mad cool because they were older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like short and fat and young, and I couldn't get the rocks at the houses. I never wanted to be a jerk more in my life. Like I was just weak, and I couldn't get him that far over the fence, and then like they just wouldn't hit the fucking houses. And like looking back at it, I didn't realize how much of an asshole we were being because like why would you do that? And then he was like, this is getting boring. So he was like, so let's just go into traffic and throw fucking rocks at these cars that were going like 40.
Jesus.
Because that's a great idea, right?
Mm.
And we were just pelting rocks at cars that were just flying down the street because I don't know why we thought that was so funny. We never, like, thinking back at it, obviously someone could have, like, got into an accident.
Right.
And then we threw one, and then, like, his windshield, like, shattered. And then, like, he, like, hit the brakes and stopped in the middle of the street. And then we started running. We didn't think he saw us, but he did. And then he pulled into the parking lot, and he started chasing us. And the shitty thing was, I didn't really throw it. I just looked at this kid. He was, like, 16. He was, like, on the baseball team or something. He just, like, wailed it. But he was athletic. So when he got the car, he, like, jetted. And I was just a really short, fat kid, and I just couldn't get away from this grown-ass man. And I was fucking running for my life. And then, like, he followed me all the way to my house. And it was it. He, like, told my mom, he was like, I'm going to call the cops on this kid. And then that happened. And then they called the cops on me. And then, like, I just fucking, like, they brought me in and everything. Like, I got in, like, a shit ton of trouble. I didn't go to, like, juvie or anything. It just, like, I think my mom got, like, a citation or whatever, and she had to pay. And it was really fucked up because I tried to explain that, like, I was too, like, short and fat to throw a brick at a moving car. She just didn't believe me.
Did you give up the buddies you had who were able to escape?
The selling candy, did I give them up? I tried. But I didn't really know him that well. I only knew like a nickname, and it wasn't.
You tried.
It wasn't enough. Like, and then it's like that was just it. Like I couldn't like. I tried to tell her like, "Yo, this kid," and it's like I pointed at their house, and they went there, and like they weren't there, and like their parents were like in on it. Like their parents wouldn't give up their kids. They're like, "No, we don't know him. Like, you don't have a kid." And I was like, this is fucking wild. This is a nightmare. Like,
so would you end up like, what was the result of your punishment? Like you said, your mom got some sort of citation.
Yeah, she beat the shit out of me. Like,
nice.
I never got my ass beat so bad in my life. Like, she was like throwing shit at me. Like, she was like,
Jesus.
She was beating the shit out of me. She probably did, because that was the last time.
Where the law failed, your mom was
made
ready.
Up for it. Yeah, and then there was this other time. The only other time I had got in trouble for committing a crime was, again, stealing. It's the only time I got caught. And it was the last time I had ever stolen anything in my life. I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was stealing, and the guy caught me, and he was like, if you never steal again, I won't call the cops. And I was like, sure, man.
I won't steal from here again. Where
Whatever
were you stealing from?
It was just another gas station. Because why not? If you're in high school, I just figured like I never learned as a kid because no one ever caught me as a kid. So
Yeah,
like I
did you-
never learned that it was wrong. I was like, yo, it's why I paid for it if you could take it.
When did you at some point learn your lesson to stop stealing?
Yeah, that's right. When I got caught, I realized that people
Right,
actually aren't freaking idiots. And he actually wasn't an idiot. And I guess he suspected me because I was a lot older. I realized that the whole kid thing doesn't work forever. And I was like, I fucking hit puberty. And I was like 6 feet at that time. So I guess like you're a 6 foot black kid in your store. I didn't realize how easy it was to get caught. So, then he was like, I won't call the cops. Like, I'm pretty sure he thought I was going to steal as soon as I walked in. And then when I did, he was like, yep.
So you
And then
haven't
he just said,
you haven't stolen since then ever?
no, I cleaned up. I went to college, got my life together, stopped stealing Jolly Ranchers, and I learned my lesson. My family didn't. They steal all the time and like sell drugs, but you know, you live and you learn, I guess.
Is it because they've never been caught?
I don't think so. Or actually, no, they're in and out of jail all the time. They just never get enough consequence, I guess. Like, you steal or you get caught for having drugs, go to jail for a few years, you get out, you do it again.
But you've managed to avoid that life.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that dude in the gas station changed my life. He doesn't know it, but
Cause he liked you. Would it have been different if he hated you and he called the cops and he tried to get the book thrown at you?
yeah, I honestly think so. Like, I think at that time I had went to jail and I was like got in serious trouble for like, I think I stole like a fucking like Snickers or something.
Oh, dude, 10 years, 10 years minimum.
10 years minimum. I think after that, like, it probably wouldn't have been easy to get into like I don't know how much college looks into your background, so it probably wouldn't have been easy to just explain to some school I was applying to that, hey, I was an idiot and I was like 14, so can you forget about it?
Right.
So
and you would think, like, on one hand, like, you would think that the nature of the crime would be very important, like, in the sense that if you had just stolen a Snickers from a gas station, that it wouldn't really matter in comparison to people who have committed, like, violent crimes.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, it's like it's all just there. It's all just classified as crime in your criminal record. So
yeah, I think it's just time and place. Like I know a family member, like he does a lot of drugs, and like he would sell drugs all the time, and he barely got caught. But the one time he did go to jail because he was stealing like monsters from like a Sunoco, and like he did a few years because of that.
Holy
So, like,
crap! You can do years for that?
It's because he already had a warrant. Like, they were just looking for a reason. Like, that's all it took was just petty theft, and they just threw whatever else they had on him. But it's like he didn't get caught for anything else. In fact, most people in my family who did ever get caught for anything was probably just like petty theft or something, and they already had a warrant. So I think it's just time and place and just who it is. Because I'm pretty sure if it was a different gas station, the outcome would have been different. Like, I think it's just because it was like a shitty bodega that like he probably was doing something else in his store and didn't want cops calling anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey man, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, dude.
You too. I love your show.
Thanks, man. Bye bye. Okay. That is the last call of the show. We didn't get any women. We do usually like to finish on a woman, but this is I don't know. They're not around. They're not around. Women don't commit crimes. Come on, we know. So I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait for a woman. Gonna call it now. A little short show, but this is good. You know, keep it tight. We'll be back at some point. We'll do another show, another topic. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know when. At some point. Maybe like a New Year's show. That could be fun. New Year's. All right. All the music from the stream today has been from artist Windows 96. Almost all from his album Gradient Horizon. The links to the Bandcamp and YouTube for that album are in the description of this video. So you can listen to that music for free or for money if you want. The HUD/overlays from Slouch. Very talented animator. The link to his channel is also in the description of this video. The thumbnails from Odin Odang OB. His Instagram is linked in the description of this video. Basically anything that has anything to do with whatever's going on in this stream is in the description of this video. So you can find it there. I'm going to play a few more songs here just to finish out the stream, and that's that. All right? Thanks for calling in, everybody. Good talking to you about crime. Lots of criminals. Good to hear. Good to know I'm not alone. I'm not nearly the worst offender. Which is good. All right. Yeah, that's all. Have a good weekend.
money. Or I finish up. You have no choice. You give me my money.